hit to center. Backing up is Ciani. Still back. Ciani onto the track. Leaps up. It is gone!
The Brewers and Pirates face off with coverage starting tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, May 14th, our top story. A messy cyber attack continues to wreak havoc on Ascension hospitals.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Another set of tents now need to come down.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Everything's looking pretty good out on the freeway system. No major delays and no major incidents either. We're looking good. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Chance of a shower this morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. Breezy, high of 54 at the lake, 61 inland. Clearing skies tonight. Tonight's low down to 46. We're at 47 right now in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Ascension hospitals in Wisconsin and across the country still dealing with a cyber attack that's limited access to digital patient information. Latest update from the network indicates all Ascension Wisconsin hospitals, physician offices, and care sites across the state remain open and operational. Due to the transition to manual systems for patient documents and care at certain centers, patients may encounter longer than usual wait times and some delays.
A deadline is looming for those camping at Milwaukee County Park and Rides. They need to find a new place to live.
Encampments have spread to 3 park and rides, 2 off College Avenue and 1 off Holt. People are living out of their campers, vans, and tents like Tamika.
I shouldn't be here. Me personally, no, I should not be here.
There was a deadline for everyone to be out by Friday, but many are hearing
They said that was put on hold.
I heard it was put on hold.
Representatives with the DOT say any abandoned property is going to be thrown out by Friday, and each person must promise to have a timeline to leave. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
New information this morning on a man killed in a 3-car crash at the intersection of Appleton and Burleigh over the weekend.
The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office identifying him as 50-year-old Jason Stark. Stark's brother telling the ME that he worked for years delivering papers for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and was likely heading to work when he was killed. Stark's Mitsubishi Mirage was struck by a speeding Ford Flex while he was making a turn from Appleton onto Burleigh, causing it to hit a 3rd car. 2 people injured in that car, but they are expected to survive. The 24-year-old woman driving the Ford has been arrested. Charges are pending. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The Secretary of State is in Kyiv this morning. He says that American military aid that's on its way to Ukraine will make a real difference.
Antony Blinken's visit comes less than a month after Congress approved the latest hefty aid package that sets aside $60 billion more for Kyiv. Zelensky's message:
Thanks for coming to Ukraine, especially these days. Not simple period for Ukraine and a tough period for the east of our country, for our warriors.
The visit comes amid a new Russian push toward Kharkiv, Ukraine's 2nd largest city. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
White House announcing plans to slap new tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, advanced batteries, solar cells, steel, aluminum, and medical equipment. It's an election year move likely to increase friction between the world's 2 largest economies. The tariffs come in the middle of a heated campaign, of course, between President Biden and his Republican predecessor, former President Donald Trump.
The former president's so-called fixer-turned-foe will give his 2nd day of testimony in Mr. Trump's criminal trial later today. CBS correspondent Jared Hill in New York.
Michael Cohen, the man who once said he'd take a bullet for former President Donald Trump, returns to the witness stand today to testify against him. Monday, the prosecution's star witness told the jury Trump was directly involved in a scheme to pay adult film star Stormy Daniels to keep quiet about a past alleged sexual encounter. Cohen said Trump was furious that Daniels was shopping the story weeks before the 2016 election, saying then-candidate Trump told him, just take care of it. Cohen added Trump told him it was a total disaster. Women are going to hate me.
Coming up, new information coming to light on the Baltimore Bridge collapse. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 6:04.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Growing up in the 80s was totally tubular. Brat packs and 24-hour music videos, boom boxes and Walkmans, along with leg warmers, acid wash jeans, and jackets that were made for members only. Oh, and don't forget, air conditioning was a luxury. Yeah, retro is rad, unless you're talking about sticky, icky, humid indoor air. But your friends at Mr. Holland's Home Services are back here in the future to upgrade your aging, inefficient, grody to the max furnace and air conditioner. Mr. Holland's crew will make yours the coolest house on the block with a bodacious new comfort system and enjoy 0% interest for 36 months with approved credit. It's not a wall unit, and you won't need 1.21 gigawatts to run it. Call Mr. Holland's Home Services today. 866-992-1717. Or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If your indoor air is stuck in the 80s, we can help.
The Wintrust I-94 Series Sweepstake is back. Located only 83 miles off of I-94, the Brewers and Cubs have had a friendly rivalry for years. Now, this is our chance to honor these two great baseball cities. Enter for your chance to be front and center to see the Cubs versus the Brewers on Friday, June 28th at American Family Field. To enter for your chance to win and see the official rules, visit wintrust.com/rivalry. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. We're all living longer. That means in all of our families, people are facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and other memory-related issues. Azura specializes in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They're Wisconsin-based, 14 in our state, 4 in our area. I've been in their buildings. They're fantastic. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, empathy and compassion at the core. It's Azura.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best Siding Unlimited. 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Brewers lose to the Pirates and lost Rhys Hoskins. Update on his injury coming in sports at 6:15.
The MMAC and United Healthcare committing $600,000 via scholarships to students whose career path includes a profession in healthcare.
It's really an investment in our future.
MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy on the 6-year commitment that will support 30 students from public, charter, and choice schools.
Companies are having such a difficult time filling job openings, and no place is that pressure greater than in a healthcare environment.
The scholarship program will be run by All In Milwaukee.
So hopefully they'll matriculate into hospitals and other places here to provide healthcare in the future. So it's a little bit of paying it forward.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
City of Racine pushing a new way to make Narcan more accessible. They will put it in the mail.
Narcan is a life-saving medication that can reverse an overdose from opioids. The Racine Health Department wants it in the hands of more people.
Over the past 3 years, we've seen, just in the city of Racine alone, we've seen 96 individuals who have overdosed and died due to opioids.
Cody Pierce is a community health director for Racine. He says everyone should have a kit mailed to them.
You may come across somebody who is overdosing in a fast food restaurant bathroom or gas station bathroom or in a walk in a park. So even if you don't feel that you may need it, there could be a day that you do.
The Narcan Hope Kits are free. They contain 2 doses of Narcan nasal spray, fentanyl test strips, and a CPR mask. Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Nearly now, 2 months after Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse, the National Transportation Safety Board is expected to release its preliminary findings. It comes a day after explosive precision cuts were detonated to remove a major portion of the wreckage from the river. CBS correspondent Jared Ho.
In the port of Baltimore, an incredible blast. More than a dozen small explosives detonated Monday to break apart the large chunk of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, still resting on the cargo ship that crashed into it over a month and a half ago.
Maryland transportation officials say it's going to cost nearly $2 billion to build a new bridge.
Coming up, are ballot drop boxes a good idea or a bad idea? Well, that's not really the question we should be asking.
This report is sponsored by Truestone Financial, your neighborhood credit union. Visit truestone.org today.
A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we do have something even sweeter. Open and use a Truestone checking account and we'll give you up to $150 cash back. It's not exactly what the recipe called for, but $150 can buy you a lot of cookies. It's true, because we're Truestone. Learn more and sign up at truestone.org. Offer subject to terms and conditions. Recipient responsible for applicable taxes. Membership required.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. When it's time to get out and cultivate your ideal yard, we get you the right products at the right prices. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with a $100 Estate fertilizer purchase, like Estate Weed and Feed, just $34.99. All Cub Cadet riding mowers are on sale, up to $900 off. Plus, get Blaine's Best Price Promise. If you find an item we carry anywhere else for less, Blaine's Farm and Fleet will match the price, guaranteed.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations: Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Or visit Heiser.com, because today's your day.
6:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Traffic and weather together, Debbie.
Yep, looking pretty good right now. Just a few broken down vehicles here and there, but they're all out of traffic. Southbound 43 Green Bay Avenue, another one at Highway 175 and westbound 94. Another one in the Mitchell interchange. So at this point, we're just seeing just a bunch of broken down vehicles. Nothing major to slow you down. We're in good shape otherwise. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Cloudier skies and breezy winds for today across southeastern Wisconsin. Temperatures remain chilly. Highs lakeside in the 50s, lower 60s inland. There will be the small chance for an isolated rain shower or sprinkle this morning. Tonight, clearing skies, low temperatures falling into the 40s. We will look at temperatures rebounding a bit on Wednesday. Highs lakeside in the lower 60s, near 70 inland. Plenty of sunshine all day long. On Thursday, partly cloudy skies, high temperatures upper 60s to low 70s. We will look at some rain chances late in the day Thursday into Friday. Partly cloudy skies on Friday with high temperatures in the upper 60s to mid 70s. On Saturday, it gets even warmer with partly cloudy skies, high temperatures well into the 70s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 47 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Eric Bilstad and Vince Petrano.
As Ferris Bueller said, we got a lot to do today. Let's go. Wisconsin State Supreme Court is expected to rule on whether ballot drop boxes, other than one that might be placed at your local clerk's office, whether those ballot drop boxes are legal in Wisconsin. Right now, they're not. And that ruling could change the landscape for absentee voting in our state. It would be inside 6 months before the presidential election. When does the state Supreme Court stuff usually come down? Like early summer, right?
Yeah, sometime in the summer months, so at least a month at least from now, right?
Yes, so oral arguments have been had now before the High Court on Monday in a lawsuit that seeks to allow the use of boxes wherever a clerk's office decides to put them for folks to drop off absentee ballots ahead of an election. This has become sort of a right versus left issue, but I'm going to explain why it really shouldn't be that. At least the question that's before the High Court. Rally in Madison Monday for folks who support the use of ballot drop boxes. Here's this woman speaking with TMJ4 News.
I've got an inflammatory arthritis, and I have something called Raynaud's disease, where if you're out in the cold, your hands, it's really painful. So I can't stand out in the cold anymore.
So she's making the argument that, look, this makes it easier for everyone to turn in their absentee ballots, and shouldn't we be doing everything that we can to expand access to voting? All well and good. Problem is, the question before the High Court is not whether drop boxes are a good idea or a bad idea. The question is a matter of law, regardless of what you think of the goodness or badness of drop boxes.
The most important decision you can make right now is what do you stand for, Danny? Goodness or badness?
See, that's...
I did not expect a Caddyshack reference.
Goodness or badness?
I was not expecting that. Well played.
So we're kind of off track here in evaluating this question. It's not about drop boxes or not drop boxes. It's about who gets to decide.
Right.
So backing up here, Wisconsin Elections Commission during COVID, so 2020, loosened the rules on absentee voting, among them allowing for expanded use of drop boxes. The state Supreme Court 2 years later, in a 4-3 decision, when the court leaned conservative, said you can't do that. The court did not rule that drop boxes are unfair or a bad idea. The court ruled that since state law does not specifically outline rules or uses for ballot drop boxes, they're not allowed. The argument was, look, it's either in the law or it's not. And since the law is sort of mum on this invention, the argument and the way the court ruled was, well, then you can't have it. Mm-hmm. It's not in state law. I'm kind of agnostic on it, really, in terms of whether it's a good idea or a bad idea.
Or if it's really bringing in that many more votes.
Right.
I mean, that woman that you heard that sound from, she can't find a box to bring it in beforehand?
Well, right. We have ballot drop boxes. Yeah. They're called the mailbox.
Right. Or right. we still have them in front of
the clerk's office.
So they still exist. Yeah.
In person.
Yeah. Or you can go in person and do it.
But if conservatives are bent out of shape over it, you could have in a conservative community, let's pick one like West Bend or whatever, the clerk's office there could put a ballot drop box on every corner if they wanted to.
Just to make sure you siphon as many votes as possible.
So regardless of what you think on that, what the argument is about is whether or not the legislature has to pass a bill in order to allow this. The legislature could pass a bill, the governor could sign it, and we would have a state law that says, yes, you can have drop boxes. Here are the rules for those drop boxes. And absent that, you don't have them. So, and I hope I've outlined that for folks really to understand. The High Court is being asked to rule again, now with a 4-3 liberal majority, not on the goodness or badness, but on whether Wisconsin Elections Commission gets to make up rules as it goes without those rules explicitly spelled out in state law. Ruling on the issue expected in June.
The most important decision you can make right now is what do you stand for, Danny? Goodness or badness?
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Capital Heating and Cooling and CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Absolute Comfort HVAC and Electrical, coming out to service my air conditioner today, And my AC was doing just fine last summer, but I've got your comfort guys coming to the house because I've long time had this spring AC maintenance scheduled. Nicole and Brent over there, it's a family-owned business, and one of the reasons they like to come out and check your AC unit ahead of the cooling season is they want to prevent breakdowns. So you get them there to service your AC unit before it quits on you. You also want to extend the lifespan of that air conditioner. You already paid good money for it, so you want it working at peak efficiency. Plus, Brent or maybe his son Drew, they come out, they clean out all the filters and the coils, so you're not sending dust and allergens into your home. They are booking appointments today for the air conditioner service. Tell them Vinny sent you. 262-664-9284. That's Your Comfort Guys. YourComfortGuys.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Eric Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Nothing was working for the Brewers. The bullpen struggled. The offense was sputtering, but the game was still in reach in the 8th inning when Jake Bauers delivered himself a grand hater.
The 3-2 delivery. High drive. Deep right field. Back goes Reynolds. Grand slam. The Brewers are within a run. It's 7-6 Pittsburgh. Jake Bauers delivers in the 8th inning.
Yeah, it was a great home run. It made you believe, but it was not meant to be. The Brewers would ultimately fall to the Pirates 8-6. To make matters worse, Rhys Hoskins hurt his hamstring in the 2nd inning, rounding first base.
Yeah, I just got into the turn and felt it grab.
Yep, he felt it grab. He's going to have an MRI on that today.
I was listening then. He makes the turn, and Lane's going like, and I think something's wrong with Rhys. They're coming out to check on him.
And he was
took wincing.
A pitch. Frelick was up to bat, and he got it at bat, one pitch in, and finally Hoskins is like, nope, I got to go. Good news is this is the other leg. This isn't his leg that he had the ACL surgery on. It's the other leg. So if there is a silver lining, that is it. MRI today.
And what is that name, Mr. Cobb? Alabama. And what do we say? Go Bama! Roll Tide!
It'll be an 11 a.m. kickoff on Fox for the Wisconsin Badgers. The Alabama Crimson Tide, a home and homes. The Badgers travel to Tuscaloosa in 2025. Host Alabama September 14th at Camp Randall Stadium. We already knew that, but the Badgers announcing the 11 a.m. kick time on Monday. You like that action?
No. That would suggest
think that should
to
be a prime
me.
Game?
Well, yeah. I guess that would suggest to me that the network doesn't expect it to be a sexy game.
They expect the Tide to roll.
Right? Isn't that how you read that?
Yeah, right. What is that? 9 a.m. Pacific?
Yeah. I mean, I like those 11A starts, but not when it's Alabama.
6:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Miss any of the truth on WTMJ?
I'm representing the bull. maybe there's something wrong with me.
Catch the podcast wherever you get your podcasts and catch up on moments like this.
Yesterday I reached mountain. I am a mighty little man. I am a mighty. I love me some Young Sheldon. Oh my God.
And listen to The Truth on WTMJ every Sunday from 7 until 9 with Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas. Right here on 620 WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic. Feels so much better. Remember I told you I usually go into Connect Chiro on like midweek is my weekly appointment. Bumped that up after a fairly active weekend. A lot of yard work, a couple of rounds of golf, and the lower back was like, let's get this taken care of right away. And it feels so much better this morning. I encourage everyone to check out Connect Chiropractic. They use a special tool to make all the adjustments. It's focused on restoring proper nerve and muscle function, gentle, pain-free, and effective. So grateful for the folks that we've been able to point in the right direction and get them on the road to better health with Dr. Alex Young and his team at Connect Chiropractic. It's why I recommend my team of docs there to you in Delafield and Wauwatosa. It's Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Spring fishing is finally here, and Fleet Farm has everything you need to reel in more fish this year. Upgrade your gear with the best brands like Rapala, Berkeley, and St. Croix. Find exclusive flicker sheds you won't find anywhere else, starting at $12.99. Get rod and reel combos starting at only $24.99. And shop our wide selection of fishing line that starts at just $4.99. Land top fishing gear and everything else you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 622.
All right, starting to get a little busier on 894 westbound, right past Loomis through the construction zone. But otherwise, everything else is rolling along pretty well. Got a pretty quiet ride so far. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ forecast. So there's a chance for a shower to the south. Otherwise, cloudy and breezy today, a high of 61. Tonight, clear sky, low of 46. Wednesday, all day sunshine, a high of 70. Thursday, a high of 71. Right now in Milwaukee, 48 at 622.
New space built for kids inside is now open at Bayshore. This is exactly what I was looking for, Eve, 15 years ago when my kids were little. But I don't feel like we really had in the area. But like someplace if the weather's crummy or in the winter, like I just want to run them. Right. Someplace to do something.
Burn
Callie
down the
Herbst
battery.
Is founder of Milwaukee with Kids, MKEwithkids.com. And Callie, you've got a nice piece up on the Kids Empire. This looks so cool.
Yeah, it is cool. They opened at Bayshore recently. I know there's one out in Brookfield, but this is I think it's a different, franchise owner. Opened up at Bayshore, I think just this past week. When I went in there, it was open, but there were even like still some painting being done, so it's really new, huge. It's like 11,000 square feet. Perfect for, like you said, just letting the kids run wild and getting their energy out.
And these indoor spaces are great, not just when it's raining, in the summer, but like, don't you find yourself as a parent with little ones, like they're just cooped up and they can only run in a circle, around my house so often.
Yeah, it's just fun to have a change of scenery for all that running. And I think, in recent years, these play cafes and indoor playgrounds have really found their role in Milwaukee. There's a bunch of them, and I really love these little play cafes around town. There's like Little Sprouts and Little Village Cafe in Wauwatosa. They're these locally owned, just adorable places. Those are more for like the littler kids, like the babies and toddlers to crawl around and the parents to hang out with each other. But you're right, you just need a different change of scenery.
This helps with options, too, for parents on picking out birthday locations, right? run out of spots. You can only go to Chuck E. Cheese so many times.
That's right. I know they do birthdays. All these places usually offer their birthday packages. This place is right across from Cheesecake Factory, in case people are trying to, picture it. Because I know when I'm like, wait, where did it open at Bayshore? And it's literally right across from Cheesecake Factory. And right now, when I walked in, it smelled like this nice new place. So now's the time to go before it gets gross. You know what I mean?
Yes. You had an interesting suggestion for a thing to do as a family. You were suggesting, Callie, the traveling beer gardens. And, certainly if you get a couple of beers in the kids, they're going to be a lot more agreeable. No, that's not what you were saying.
Oh, my goodness. No, I know. See, people, they hear that and they're like, what are you suggesting? But truly, these places are, as long as you're being responsible with your consumption and just, whatever, these places are very family friendly. And the kids can get root beers and craft sodas. It's a Sprecher traveling beer garden, and they serve them out of an old-fashioned fire truck, which is really cool. They often have live music on the weekends. So it's a really lovely environment. Anytime that I've ever been to these beer gardens, it's never been like a rowdy, inappropriate situation. So I definitely think it's a nice family outing.
Yeah, we've got the one. We've got the one at Whitnell Park. That's not a traveler, but a regular one. The kids used to love to go there because it's right adjacent to the playground, and again, spot for them to just run around.
Exactly. The one at Estabrook is also right by a playground. So, yeah, they're fantastic.
And Estabrook one is right by the river, too, so you can walk down and, get close to the river and see. It's something different. A kid can see something different and make a different memory.
Yep, and it's all outside. In the summer, we got to take advantage of our good weather, when we have it. So, yeah.
Speaking of which, Milky Way Drive-In opens again this weekend. That's kind of a cool thing.
Oh, it's really cool. We've been a few times as a family. I don't know if it's allowed, but we'll go pick up a pizza beforehand, and then you pay by the carload, and it's a really cool 40-foot LED screen. So it's kind of like nostalgic drive-in meets modern technology, and this weekend they open with Back to the Future. They're showing Paw Patrol, Migration, Trolls, and then some adult ones too. I know they're showing Saw on Saturday night, Barbie. So yeah, a whole lineup of movies for the weekend.
Saw maybe not great for the kids.
Definitely not. No, that one's at 9 or 10. I would not. I was just letting people know if they wanted to see that.
Callie Herbst is founder of Milwaukee with Kids, mkewithkids.com. Great to catch up, Callie.
All right, bye-bye.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 81 points to 39,432 in trading on Monday. The NASDAQ up 47 to 16,388, and the S&P 500 left things at 52.21. That was off just about a point and a quarter. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button now.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this. Who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated? Might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, Tuesday, May 14th. Our top story, no end in sight to delays and long waits at Ascension hospitals.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Could we see more ballot boxes across the state?
I'm Debbie Laziga. 894 westbound slowing down a bit now from 27th Street all the way to 68th through that construction zone. Otherwise, everything else is moving along fine. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Chance of a shower this morning, otherwise mostly cloudy and breezy. High of 61 degrees, bit cooler near Lake Michigan. Clearing skies tonight. Our low temperature gets down to 46. We're just above it now, 47 degrees in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Michael Cohen continues testimony today at former President Trump's criminal hush money trial. Monday, jurors heard Cohen detail his role in facilitating payments to women who claimed they had had affairs with Trump. ABC's Aaron Katersky says he also laid out his role in the aftermath of the tape in which Trump bragged about grabbing women.
Cohen testified Trump told him to spin it, and the spin that he wanted to put on it was that this is locker room talk, something that Melania had recommended. Seated at the defense table, Trump appeared to make a face when he heard that, one of his few reactions to Cohen's testimony. For much of it, Trump shut his eyes in seeming disinterest.
Today, President Biden will announce increased tariffs on Chinese-made products, including electric vehicles. Those tariffs will quadruple. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Ukraine, pledging more U.S. support. And there could be severe weather today in the Florida Panhandle and later on in central and northern Florida. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Ascension Hospitals in Wisconsin still dealing with that cyber attack that's limited access to digital patient information. Latest update from the network indicates all Ascension Wisconsin hospitals, physician offices, and care sites are still open. They are operating, but they are crippled. Due to the transition to manual systems for patient documents and care at certain centers, Ascension is saying that patients are encountering longer than usual wait times and delays.
Decision Wisconsin, the state Supreme Court considering a lawsuit to reverse its own decision from 2 years ago to ban absentee ballot drop boxes. Democrats who brought the suit hope the court's new liberal majority will reallow those drop boxes ahead of the November election. Critics say those drop boxes aren't laid out in state law and that the legislature needs to create a rule for them, not the State Elections Commission.
New job for former Wisconsin Congressman Mike Gallagher, the former 8th District representative, now a senior strategic advisor for Titletown Tech. Gallagher resigned from his seat April 19th in a move criticized by fellow Republicans. He's left the district without a congressman for now.
Threatening and violent phone messages are forcing Menominee Falls Bakery, Batter & Mac to cancel its planned drag story hour and cupcake decorating night. The organization's executive director, Brad Shalowski, tells TMJ4 News.
The person in a costume and makeup. That's all it is. If it's bigger than that to you, it's because you made it that way.
Batter & Mac is still planning to hold its sold-out drag bingo night, which will raise funds for Courage MKE.
Coming up, travel forecast for the Memorial Day weekend. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:33.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Each day there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely. And you feel better when you can. But you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back. But it's always short-lived. And all the while in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple
Results may vary.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend Accunet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which Accunet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in $15,000 short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:35.
Roll Tide when the Badgers face Alabama in sports at 6:45.
So what do we have? We have Marquette University move-in day. Is it Nicolay High School that has the red carpet? Or
yes,
is that...
for a first day of school.
Okay, yeah, for the first day of school. Okay, so these are two stories that, we hear about every year. It's the same story. Hey, look at these kids moving in. Or, well, this
is the dance we dance. Yes.
Here's another one. If you're planning on traveling this Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, the travel forecast.
Yes, here's how many people will be on the road.
The summer travel season will kick off with what's expected to be a record-breaking Memorial Day weekend. Nearly 44 million travelers will head 50 or more miles from home.
All right, that means I got to make a decision now if I'm going to drive.
Let me see. If that number had been closer to 30, I would go. But no, you could have said any number right there, too.
I know.
Right?
That's what makes me laugh about it. AAA does this every time just to hear their name in the news. And they just pick a number.
How do they know?
And I always wonder, we should always cross-reference after the fact. All right, how many people actually did... and then determine whether or not...
No, we never do that. We never do the follow-up. It turned out it was only 30 million.
By the way, for those flying, the number one U.S. destination is...
Washington.
Orlando.
Okay.
Internationally, it's Rome.
Who goes to Rome for Memorial Day weekend?
Well,
right?
Apparently.
You got
a couple
maybe
extra
you take
days.
that Friday off and the Monday. Wow, it's a quick hitter.
Anyway, expect a busy congestion on the road.
6:37.
Start summer with the fastest weekend of the year at America's National Park of Speed, Road America. The XPEL Grand Prix presented by AMR June 6th through June 9th. America's fastest open-wheel cars return to Road America for one of the IndyCar's premier events, including Indy NXT USF Pro 2000 and Vintage Indy. Make it a full weekend. Great campsites are available. Kids under 16 get in free with paying adults. IndyCar at America's National Park of Speed, Road America. Tickets at roadamerica.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guthrie and Fry protects the water in my house. Guthrie and Fry has provided expert advice, quality service, and reliable water since 1974. Owners Sue and Rob are well known and very generous in the local community for supporting great causes that change lives. We've got their water softener. We've got their reverse osmosis system. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. GFwater.com. It's Guthrie and Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Update on the roads and then your forecast. Go ahead, Deb.
Alrighty, we got westbound 894 backing up from 27th Street to 68th through the construction zone there. We've got 43 southbound, broken down vehicle right about at Green Bay Avenue. It's off on the right shoulder, but it's enough. That's where we're seeing delays actually stretching back towards Silver Spring. So give yourself that extra time. Otherwise, everything else seems to be rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Small chance for a sprinkler rain shower this morning. Otherwise, just breezy winds, cloudier skies, and chilly temperatures. Highs near the lake stay in the 50s, some lower 60s as you head further inland. Tonight, clearing skies, low temperatures in the 40s. Plenty of sunshine throughout the day on Wednesday. Lakeside areas in the lower 60s, near 70 inland. Thursday will bring in the chance for a rain shower late in the day. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. Friday, we'll see those rain chances stick around with partly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the 60s to mid-70s. Everyone gets into the 70s on Saturday with partly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Tyler's got us at 48 degrees. Rhetorical question here. You don't have to answer. Do you know at least one idiot in your office? I definitely don't want you to answer. Because you might be looking at them, right?
Come on now.
It's all it takes to bring a company to its knees. Doesn't even have to be an idiot. That's not fair. It can just be someone who, in a moment, is just a bit careless. I'll tell you what I mean about that coming up. But as this crisis at Ascension Healthcare nears one full week, the result of this cyber attack on the health system that has 140 hospitals nationwide, including hospitals and clinics here across southeast Wisconsin.
This person says this. The other person says this. I'm confused. I'm afraid to eat.
Without a car and her certain type of health insurance, she tells me it's not as simple as going to another doctor's office or the emergency room.
I was told we'll go to Aurora or Freighter, but my insurance doesn't cover that. How would I pay the bills?
Well, that's a woman speaking with TMJ4 News. An Ascension patient. She's dealing with an ongoing medical issue. She cannot get the care she needs from her doctors, and hers is one in presumably thousands of stories like that out there. Now, we had I don't want to call it spin, but the statement from Ascension earlier that said, yeah, there are some delays and whatever. Stuff's getting canceled.
Yeah.
People can't see their doctors, and those who are not getting the care they need. It's more serious than they're sort of, juicing up the language a little bit. Yeah, we're dealing with some delays. We ask for patience. It's more serious than that.
No, it's rough.
So Ascension is the victim of a ransomware attack. Hackers got into their computer systems and paralyzed their daily operations.
The main idea is an attacker will somehow compromise a company or just an individual's computer systems, either by preventing them from using the systems at all or encrypting files so they can't use them, can't read them until some ransom is paid.
You know that voice.
Yeah. It's our IT guy here.
That's our guy.
Yeah.
It's Ryan Bohr. He's one of our IT guys at the company Good Karma Brands, describing how these attacks work. And this is the stuff that keeps people like him in your company or wherever awake at night, because it's really easy to do. There's some group, CNN reporting sourced information that it's a Russian hacker ring that's done this before, that has gotten into the system at Ascension. And what they do is they infect it with malicious code that renders the computer systems or whatever they target unusable. It's locked away. So basically they say, pay us however millions of dollars and we'll unlock everything and you just go on your merry way.
Often it is really that simple. The whole motive behind the attack is that the attackers get paid and then, they can revert all the damage that they've done. And that's the whole, motivating factor.
So I asked Ryan about that. I'm like, okay, say you say, all right, fine, we'll pay the ransom, we'll do whatever you want. He said they unlock it, and largely these things just go back to normal. Okay, we got what we needed. That was money. There is the secondary thing of, have they captured
is there something
records
else?
Or things?
Yes. What did they take with them?
Right. And could they use that later to, hack other people personally or things like that? He said, but largely that doesn't appear to be the objectives of these types of groups. They just want to get paid. And actually, if you play their game, you get your system back. Back to the earlier point, though, about how easy this is to do. All it takes is one person to make a mistake.
Getting employees to just click on links or download PDFs or malicious files that they think are legitimate and then end up containing malware.
So it's traditionally called phishing. Don't know if that specifically is the case here at Ascension, if that's how these hackers got in, but that often is.
Everything we've ever been told is that the majority of the time, it's not like some amazing cyber criminal is able to crack the case by himself and to sneak himself into the network. No, it's because of an email that was sent with a link that one of us accidentally linked.
Right. Your boss, you get a note presumably from your supervisor, need you to click this right away. We're in a meeting. Can you click this? And you're like, sure. Click, and you might not even know for some time. I did reach out to Ascension to get somebody on the show. I've only been referred to online statements so far that the company is making, so they're not offering anybody to talk about this. The latest statement posted Monday reads in part, Ascension, with the support of leading cybersecurity experts, worked around the clock over the weekend to respond to the ransomware incident affecting our systems. We are focusing on restoring systems safely. We are making progress. However, it will take time to return to normal operations. So it doesn't sound like they're paying it. Sounds like they're trying to work through it, which can happen, but it takes time.
Right.
Issue is for patients who are waiting on lab results. Do I have cancer or not? Or whose doctors cannot access their records or treat them effectively. The time it takes to return to these normal operations cannot come quickly enough.
I'm tired. I'm not getting the right answers because nobody really knows.
St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores seem to always have a great selection of women's summer clothing. Every year I check out their new selection and I can usually find great deals on a cute pair of shorts or capris or a pretty sundress. And they always seem to have a few tank tops I like too. Plus, buying gently used clothing is like recycling, so I help the environment. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Had a long weekend of baseball.
Yeah, you did.
Long weekend of baseball.
All day Mother's Day.
All day
for the
Mother's
kicker.
Day. Kid ended up playing until about 10:30 at night, Sunday night. I wasn't there for that, but I saw him yesterday, talked about the games and whatnot. I asked him, I'm like, so did you enjoy the garage doors when you got home? He's like, what are you talking about?
You did ask him.
I'm like, the garage doors from J.D. Griffiths. And he looked at me
Great
and
to be
smiled.
home.
Yeah, that was the one
Thanks,
thing he had.
Dad.
Because that's the only thing that made him feel good once before. Anyway, yeah, J.D. Griffiths. Those are the doors that my 14-year-old actually smiled at once because he was like, hey, you know what? They still look nice. They do. It's amazing. After a year, we've had these brand new garage doors, and it just really enhances the look of the house. Could not be happier with how that has gone. J.D. Griffiths, more than 70 years. They are the provider of premier garage doors, and they're also Milwaukee's detached garage builders. There's the ones that you want to go to. Plus, J.D. Griffith is offering a exclusive offer for you, the WTMJ listener. Just if you purchase a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. All you got to do is call 414-362-7222. You mentioned me, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead, or you can go to the website, jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ, and schedule your free estimate to claim your deal. jdgriffiths.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Eric Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Vince, it was just an ordinary hit to right field. Could have been two, maybe, but just a single. But just something didn't feel right for Rhys Hoskins.
Now Hoskins, I think, might be saying he needs to come out of the game. He looked like he had some discomfort there. He pulled up quickly, and now he's slamming his batting gloves down. He's got some discomfort.
Yeah, Hoskins has a hamstring.
Felt a little grab in the hamstring, and kind of learned over the years, especially not to push soft tissue stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else for you guys right now.
So he'll have an MRI on it today. The good news, if there is any good news with something like this, is that it's his other leg. So you may recall when he was with the Phillies last year, he tore his ACL on his left leg and was out
he's
the
on a
entire
comeback season here.
Yeah. This is on his right leg. That's better. It's better that it's on the opposite leg. Yes. So
Little bite, little grab, little yay.
Yeah. As for the game, other than a Jake Bauers grand salami in the eighth, there's really nothing exciting about the offense or anything. 8-6 the final. Did get close there, and that Brian Reynolds, that Pirates player, he went 5 for 5. So maybe let's get him out of here.
Nice game, right?
Same teams tonight: Brewers, Pirates. 6:40 first pitch. Our coverage starts right after the news at 6, right here on WTMJ Radio.
Wisconsin versus Alabama. September 14th at Camp Randall Stadium. That much we knew. It's going to be a Bloody Mary game. Got to start with a bloody.
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
Badgers announcing their much-anticipated matchup with the Crimson Tide will be an 11 a.m. kickoff. It's going to be Fox's featured game. What do they call it? Big noon start or something like that.
Not a good sign.
No, you don't like it?
I don't like it. I don't mind an 11 a.m. game, but not when it's Alabama. That means the network doesn't think it's going to be any good.
That Roll Tide is going to roll?
I mean, that's right. If they're putting it on at 11 a, that's usually when you're playing Northwestern.
Right? The 11 a.m. kickoff. Good enough for Badgers fans, though. Right? That 11 a.m. kick's okay at Camp
No, it's
Randall.
fine. I'm not
a crispy start to the day.
Not anti. I just not a good sign for the team matchup, I don't think.
Badgers in fall of 2025 will travel to Tuscaloosa to play Alabama. Not this fall, but next. 11 a.m. kick for the Crimson Tide at UW.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, our advisors will build a financial plan that's custom tailored for you. It will include your investments, insurance, estate plan, taxes, and other personalized elements. Let Creative Planning show you a richer way to wealth. Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Vince Vitrano inviting you to spend New Year's at sea and offering you an amazing deal if you book the Vinny Cruise now. You can join my family and me on Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, a fantastic ship. On our Western Caribbean cruise, we leave from Florida December 29th. You can save nearly $1,000 per person if you book through my partners Expedia Cruises Brookfield. What we did was we got the block of rooms just for this group a long time ago, which allows you to offer to access this exclusive deal. If you go online right now, look up the same cruise, you won't get the numbers that we're offering you now. Couples who need a break from the family, maybe after the Christmas holiday, or maybe you want to travel with the whole family. Wouldn't that be a nice gift? Everybody welcome. We're going to have our own spot on Royal Caribbean's private island. We'll have an onboard reception. We'll have dinner together, exciting shore excursions in Mexico and Honduras, fireworks, and a huge New Year's party at sea as we turn the calendar to 2025. Plus, you've got my team at Expedia Cruises Brookfield to take you through every step. New Year's at sea with the Vitrano family and our group from Wisconsin, and a fantastic deal if you book now, saving you money on this extraordinary trip. Text CRUISE to 855-616-1620. That's CRUISE to 855-616-1620. Or email me, vince@WTMJ.com. I'd be happy to send you all the information. This cruise is expected to sell out, so save your spot on board now.
Labor shortages, retention problems, it's been a challenging time for my business. But in Wisconsin, there's 600,000 people with disabilities who are ready to work right now. They just need you to believe in them and say yes. I did.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:52.
All right. Well, we got some delays now on westbound 94, leaving the Marquette interchange, mostly from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 slowing down from before Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down to Capitol, with the northbound side backing up basically from North Avenue up to Keefe. Then we've got delays along the construction zone on westbound 894, coming out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to about 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Morning showers possible, then turning cloudy and breezy with a high of 54 at the lake, 61 inland. Clearing skies tonight, low down to 46. And then sunshine on Wednesday with a high of 70 degrees. Be about 8 degrees cooler for your high at the lake. Right now, 48 in Milwaukee.
Commencement ceremonies are underway. UW successfully conducted its commencement on Saturday. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel's Lori Nickel was there. Congratulations. You are now the proud mother, Lori, of a UW alumni.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The protests were very respectful. There were no issues there. It was absolutely crowded. And my stomach is a cauldron of migraine medication and acid reflux medication and all the stuff I'm dealing with, because it's one thing to deal with those huge crowds, but we had grandparents with us, so we have all these people in their late 70s walking around, and I'm like, and there's nowhere to go. But it was so cool. It really was cool.
And you don't get that posh press seat either. You can't sit up in the press box, and you got to sit with the commoners.
Totally. I may have made a few comments like that. Like, is this how it is for all the regular people who have to deal with
it is, Lori.
Yeah. No, it was really, really packed. Like, Camp Randall was so full, even up to the, upper stadium. So
now you've sent a young man out into the world, but you've still got one more. Is your other son coming home for the summer, or we putting him to work?
Yes. So our senior graduated, and he's already making more money than me as a part-timer. And so now that he's got a full-time job, he's doing some animatronics for Disney World. So he's part of that new ride that's down in Orlando. And then my youngest son, we just moved him home yesterday or 2 days ago, and he's got an internship with Delta Hawk, which is an aerospace company in Racine. So that's really, really cool. And it's just, honestly, I can't believe how all these transitions, you're going to experience this too, Vince. But it's great, but you have to be adaptable, and I need to stop talking about how things were when I was in college. Like, I need to just stop, so.
Going to pick up my freshman in New York later this week. So, I'll be experiencing all that. Bring her home. Drive my minivan around Manhattan.
Hey, Lori, what's your take? So today's the big day.
Big day.
Yeah, because you're never stressed about driving anywhere, but yet alone Manhattan. Anyway, today's the big day. The Lake Express Ferry is going to be delivering the draft football from Detroit to Muskegon to Milwaukee and then all the way up. It's going to be biked to Green Bay. Right? I got that right?
Aren't you super excited or what?
What's your take on that?
It's going to be, like on Harley Davidson bikes? It's going to be
like cyclists.
Trek. No, it's got to be Trek out of Waterloo, right. I hope. This is just, I saw the Ferry Express thing, and the only cool thing about this that I think of is, like, maybe if they put, like, the kids and the families on the Lake Express Ferry to experience that. But why are we're doing this with the football like it's the Olympic torch?
That's kind of the idea,
just for draft. No, I'm sorry. What? I just don't. I don't get it. I haven't been reading up or following up on it too much because it just seems so crazy. But I know the NFL loves the draft. I have always hated the draft. I'm sorry, guys. Covering the draft as a reporter. The stories are cool of the athletes and the interviews are always fun, but the weekend itself for me was always just somebody on a big screen TV in the draft room up in Green Bay, just screaming at you 24/7 nonstop. It was so much. And yet all my friends back home would be having parties and stuff for this kind of thing. So I don't get it at all. Please don't make me cover this.
We'll ask you to cover them when they actually become. That's the other thing is I have trouble with the draft because every draft pick sounds good to me. I'm just, this guy looks great.
See, I like your idea, Lori. I think we should light the football on fire. It should be a torch. Why not go all in?
Okay, call me. I got stuff. I'll bring it.
That you'll cover. Lori Nickel, two-time Sports Writer of the Year for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you. Take care.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
With sports broadcasts attracting the largest audiences in television, Molson Coors shifts its advertising budget. Today it's 80% on sports, compared with 50% 5 years ago. Foxconn's former top Wisconsin executive leads a Wauwatosa tech firm that raises $2 million from area investors. Alan Young is CEO of Ingantech. They're commercializing micro LED displays. Pleasant Prairie-based distributor Uline expands into Ohio, buying a warehouse formerly owned by Ashley Furniture of Arcadia. The price was $114 million. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injuries happen, but you don't have to play in pain or stay on the sidelines. Whether it's your kids dealing with a sports injury, college athletes, or the rest of us weekend warriors, the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin will quickly diagnose your problem, lay out a treatment plan that works for you, and get you back in the game. They fixed my knee. My mother-in-law is back on the dance floor with a new hip. These are the experts you can trust. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Stay and play in Lake Geneva, the Midwest's premier golf destination. With 10 challenging courses for all abilities and skill levels, breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Enjoy an all-inclusive golf getaway with luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. For course information and more, go to visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for legendary golf.
Woo!
Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Ortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni Frozen Pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Gene Miller here. Springtime. Better start thinking about those home improvement projects. Now's the time to call my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Update your home's curb appeal and build equity with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. Hometown can also customize your project. They're your local source for wood, vinyl, or fiberglass windows and doors. Stop into their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin to see the Hometown difference. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
You can't beat Burkhart.
New Berlin and Fox Point.
It's time for another NL Central throwdown at American Family Field.
Fly ball hit to center. Backing up is Ciani. Still back. Ciani onto the track. Leaps up. It is gone!
The Brewers and Pirates face off with coverage starting tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vetrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, May 14th, our top story. Fallout continuing from a cyber attack against Ascension Wisconsin hospitals.
I'm Eric Bilstead. The airlines are fighting back.
I'm Debbie Lazigo. We've got some backups along southbound 43 from Bender Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slower on the Plainfield curve up to about Keefe. Westbound 94, we got backups from before the Marquette interchange all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then 894 westbound also slow out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Chance of a shower this morning, then mostly cloudy and breezy, high 54 at the lake, 61 inland, clearing skies tonight with a low down to 46. Right now at 48 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Ascension hospitals continue navigating the fallout from a ransomware attack that occurred middle of last week. Patient Annette Strini telling TMJ4 News she's been directed by Ascension to utilize other healthcare systems.
I was told we'll go to Aurora or Freighter, but my insurance doesn't cover that. How would I pay the bills? I'm tired. I'm not getting the right answers because nobody really knows.
Latest update from the network indicates all Ascension Wisconsin hospitals, physician offices, and care sites remain open. They are operational, but Ascension retail pharmacies in the state are not currently able to fill prescriptions.
Decision Wisconsin. The state Supreme Court is reconsidering a lawsuit that would reverse a decision from 2 years ago banning absentee ballot drop boxes. Democrats who brought the lawsuit hope the High Court's liberal majority will reallow those boxes ahead of the November election. The court is expected to issue a decision sometime this summer.
Pro-Palestinian protesters at UW Milwaukee have until 8 o'clock this morning to clear the last remnants of their encampment. But as TMJ4 Sydney Orr reports, portions of that are still remaining on the Mitchell Hall front lawn.
There's actually quite a lot of debris that is still on the lawn here at Mitchell Hall. A lot of it looks like what was the barricade that lined the outside of this encampment, and some signs on big wood boards that students have left behind. There are about 5 piles just like these across the lawn here at Mitchell Hall. And of course, students and protesters have until that 8 o'clock deadline this morning to make sure that it is all removed.
Meanwhile, a deadline of May 16th is looming for those camping at Milwaukee County Park and Rides. They need to find a new place to live.
Homeless encampments have spread to 3 park and rides, 2 off College Avenue and 1 off Holt. People are living out of their campers, vans, and tents like Tamika.
I shouldn't be here. Me personally, no, I should not be here.
There was a deadline for everyone to be out by Friday, but many are hearing
they said that was put on hold. I heard it was put on hold.
Representatives with the DOT say any abandoned property is going to be thrown out by Friday, and each person must promise to have a timeline to leave. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Kyiv, a trip designed to publicly reassure Ukraine it has American support as Ukraine struggles to defend itself against increasingly intense Russian attacks.
Antony Blinken's visit comes less than a month after Congress approved the latest hefty aid package that sets aside $60 billion more for Kyiv. Zelensky's message:
thanks for coming to Ukraine, especially these days. Not simple period for Ukraine. And tough period for the east of our country, for our warriors.
The visit comes amid a new Russian push toward Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Weeks after the White House instituted a rule requiring more transparency on airline fees, the airlines are fighting back.
The new rule requires airlines to be more upfront about what they charge for baggage, flight changes, and other services. The Transportation Department is saying they have to display those fees the first time a flyer sees a fare or schedule information online. The trade organization Airlines for America says that amounts to governmental overreach. American, Delta, United, and JetBlue are among the airlines joining their suit to block the rule. Peter King, CBS News.
Coming up, animal on the loose. This story from central Wisconsin. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
America's Best installer of America's Best replacement windows does not have the word windows in their name. Their name is Siding. Siding Unlimited. Hey, the Sons took Dad's siding business and ran with it. Siding Unlimited, the family-owned Wisconsin company, keeps climbing to the top of Pella Windows of Pella, Iowa's awards. Siding Unlimited, one of only 5 Pella Premier installers in the whole country. But better than that, the top. For 4 of the past 5 years, Pella has honored Siding Unlimited as their National Certified Contractor of the Year. You want windows? Pay Wisconsin prices with this great local company delivering National Championship award-winning service. Great craftsmanship, clean up behind, and leave the job better than before and better than expected. You know, the company with Wisconsin family values. Pride in integrity, pride in people, pride in Wisconsin. SidingUnlimited.com.
What did people do before electricity? Did they binge watch their favorite shows by candlelight? Would they hand crank their computers to surf the web? Or burn kerosene to heat their hot tubs and curling irons? Just kidding. But hey, when Mother Nature knocks out the power, it does kind of feel like you've suddenly been transported back to the time of horse-drawn covered wagons. That is, unless you have a whole house Generac generator installed by Mr. Holland's Home Services. Our proficient power pioneers hardwire your new Generac generator directly into your home's electrical system. So when the grid takes an unexpected hit, your home won't be sent back into the dark ages. Call Mr. Holland's Home Services to schedule the installation of your new whole house backup Generac generator. 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If lightning gives your home a blast from the past, we can help.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Brewers lose the game and Rhys Hoskins for how long? We'll update his injury sitch at 7:15.
The Secret Service, along with the Milwaukee Host Committee for the RNC, is answering questions about the upcoming convention.
Committee Chief Operating Officer Allison Prange tells WTMJ.
With over 50,000 visitors from around the country, we just want to be accessible, let businesses ask how they're going to be impacted, and try to make sure they can ask anything that they need to know.
She also says,
we all know that we've got an awesome city. This is a chance to show people who've never been to the Midwest, never seen our Great Lakes, to show them exactly what they're missing and make sure they come back.
From 600 East Cafe, Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
City of Racine wants to mail Narcan to people.
Narcan is a life-saving medication that can reverse an overdose from opioids. The Racine Health Department wants it in the hands of more people.
Over the past 3 years, we've seen, just in the city of Racine alone, we've seen 96 individuals who have overdosed and died due to opioids.
Cody Pierce is a community health director for Racine. He says everyone should have a kit mailed to them.
You may come across somebody who is overdosing in a fast food restaurant bathroom or gas station bathroom or in a walk in a park. So even if you don't feel that you may need it, there could be a day that you do.
The Narcan Hope Kits are free. They contain 2 doses of Narcan nasal spray, fentanyl test strips, and a CPR mask. Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
There are a few things in life that make me smile whenever I hear about them. Anything, my kids are doing, my wife, maybe a bag
garage doors.
Yeah, garage doors, a bag of Skittles, they make me smile.
Okay.
You know what else makes me smile?
I do.
A good old-fashioned random animal on the loose story.
What do we have today?
We have another one, a buffalo. Bison on the loose near Waupaca County. That, according to the sheriff's office, they posted this on Facebook. This buffalo is on the loose near Highway E. This is north of Ogdensburg. I just checked now this morning. Have not gotten an update to suggest that bison has been captured yet. First said yesterday, hey, if you see it, do not go near the buffalo. They are very unpredictable.
Don't help us. Just call.
Yeah, you're asked to call the sheriff's office in Waupaca County if you happen to see the bison.
They got a farm up there or something? Where's this bison loose
You know
from?
what? I've been headed up to a Packers game or heading up to Green Bay before and seeing a field of bison before.
Yeah, I think there maybe more than one.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Bison farms in the state.
Not sure where this one came from, but it's on the loose.
Wherever it came from, it's not supposed to be where it is right now.
Right, walking the streets of Ogdensburg.
Sports coming up at 7:15. It's sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Greg Mansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, proudly celebrating their 65th anniversary with a story dating back to 1959. This sales event is anchored in gratitude for generations of Holiday fans everywhere to say thank you for your business, your loyalty, and trust over the years, and an invitation to you to experience the stuff that sets Holiday apart. Team Holiday makes car shopping fun and simple and pressure-free. Their transparent, simplified buying approach and follow-through, combined with a passion for delighting guests, has been making fans of Badger State drivers for over 6 decades. That's a lot of fans, and I'm one of them. With Memorial Day and summer near, now is perfect timing to connect with Holiday and explore all that's new from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Score the season's best offers, get more for your trade, and enjoy Holiday's genuine hospitality. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
7-Eleven, what's going on the roads, Deb?
Well, we got some backups along southbound 43 from Silver Spring down past Capitol. Northbound slow around North Avenue up to Keefe. Westbound 94 slowing out of the Marquette all the way past the Stadium interchange, with the eastbound side backed up out of the Zoo interchange to about 68th Street. And then 894 westbound also slow from about 25th Street all the way to about 68th through that construction zone, incidentally. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Chilly temperatures for this time of year. Highs lakeside will struggle, only getting into the lower to middle 50s. Inland areas will reach towards 60 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies, breezy winds, and there will be the small chance for an isolated rain shower this morning. Tonight, clearing skies, low temperatures in the 40s. Plenty of sunshine all day long. Wednesday will help warm our temperatures up. Lower 60s lakeside, close to 70 inland. Thursday, partly cloudy skies, small chance for some rain showers later in the day. High temperatures upper 60s to low 70s. Friday, partly cloudy skies. There will be the chance for some scattered rain showers. Temperatures in the lower to middle 70s. Saturday, we're all in the 70s. Partly cloudy skies in the forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
48 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Eric Bilstad and Vince Petrano.
7:13, they'll be face-to-face again today, Vince. Former President Donald Trump and his fixer-turned-foe, Michael Cohen. They did not look at each other yesterday. Only once during the 5-hour testimony did Cohen look at Trump. It was when he was asked to identify, who Mr. Trump was. Yep. He's right over there.
Here in this courtroom?
Yep, and he went.
That's him. That's the man.
This, of course, dealing with the hush money, using money to pay off Stormy Daniels, the porn star. So her story that she had an affair with Trump would not go public before the 2016 election.
From the moment he heard Stormy Daniels was shopping a story about a long-denied sexual tryst with Donald Trump, Michael Cohen said he knew it would be catastrophic for the 2016 campaign. He said Trump knew it too. Women will hate me, Cohen recalled Trump saying. Guys may think it's cool, but this is going to be a disaster for the campaign.
Yeah, so that's why he says he paid her off and then illegally siphoned that money to one place, or suggested it was a campaign fraud thing. So today he will be testifying again. This time it'll be the defense that are going to try to poke holes. There's a lot to cover, though.
Prosecutors are out to show the reimbursements Cohen said Trump authorized were improperly and falsely characterized as legal expenses. Cohen's recollections of the things Trump said are powerful evidence. He's the only witness that can deliver it. And while there are call logs to back him up, for the most part, the jury is left to take Cohen at his word, and the defense is waiting to test his composure and credibility.
Yeah, so the defense is going to try to say, hey, look, he's a liar. He has a history of lying. He's been to jail before. Of course, it had to do with some of this hush money stuff. And you also notice there from ABC's Aaron Katersky, he says there are call logs to back him up. So despite what he might get attacked on today or how he might answer some questions today, prosecutors will ultimately probably go back to the call logs and say, hey, look, he's not lying because here we have this other evidence here.
And what's the allegation? That is former President Trump saying, I didn't tell him to do any of this stuff. Like, he was my fixer. I just said, take care of it.
Yeah, denies the affair.
And therefore,
Yep.
I'm not the one who falsified these documents or did any of these things. Like, this is on him.
Yeah, and
is
Cohen
that his defense?
Right, and Cohen was convicted of that already. So now he's coming back around and doing the testimony. So yes, and you'll see a lot of a character attacks today, and it's a tactic that's often used when you have a case like this. So
7:15, sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The newest man in charge of the dugout.
I'm thrilled today and excited to announce Pat Murphy.
But he's no stranger to us.
Quiz me, 1973 Notre Dame football. Quiz me, any player on the team.
Manager of our Milwaukee Brewers, Pat Murphy.
I mean, they're game to compete. You know, they're very, very young. Doesn't always matter how much experience you have. You know, it doesn't always matter. They can go ahead and compete with anyone.
Thursdays at 7:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Holiday Automotive.
Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Do you need to get a new roof this year, but you're overwhelmed? You don't even know where to start. Well, who do I call? Where do I go to first? There's so many roofing companies to choose from. Well, I have the one for you. I got the guy. Chuck over at Tri-County Contracting. They've been installing new roofs for homeowners like this since the 70s. So that's where you go. Tri-County Contract. You can show up at their showroom in New Berlin. You can visit their website. I'll get that to you here in a second. And either way, you can start the process with a family-owned company that wants to help you and find the solutions for you. Go to TriCountyContractingWI.com. That's TriCountyContractingWI.com. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting.
Steinhaffel's Memorial Day mattress sale is happening now. The new Temper Adapt is in stock and ready to get you the best night's sleep ever. Upgrade your sleep and save up to $500 on adjustable base sets. Shop in store and online at steinhaffels.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Eric Bilstead and Vince Vitrano.
Nothing was really working for the Brewers. The bullpen struggled a bit. The offense was sputtering, but the game was still in reach in the 8th inning when Jake Bauer has delivered himself a grand tater.
The 3-2 delivery. High drive. Deep right field. Back goes Reynolds. Grand slam. The Brewers are within a run. It's 7-6 Pittsburgh. Jake Bowers delivers in the 8th inning.
So that put them down 1. Everyone got excited.
That was going to be okay.
And Brian Reynolds had his 10th hit of the game, it seemed like. Actually, no, it was his 5th, but it was a home run. So they ended up falling 8-6 at AmFam Field to the Pirates. To make matters worse, Rhys Hoskins left the game in the 2nd inning. He had gotten a hit to right, but when he was rounding first, something didn't feel right.
Yeah, I just got into the turn and felt a grab.
Yep, felt a grab. It's his hamstring. He will have an MRI today. Same two teams tonight at American Family Field, 6:05 pregame, right here on WTMJ. First pitch around 6:40.
And what is that name, Mr. Cobb? Alabama, sir. And what do we say?
It'll be an 11 a.m. kickoff on Fox for the Wisconsin Badgers and the Alabama Crimson Tide. A home and home. So the Badgers actually set to travel to Tuscaloosa in fall of 2025.
Okay.
We host Alabama September 14th at Camp Randall Stadium this coming season. That much we knew. Badgers announcing it's going to be an 11 a.m. kick time for that game now.
How do you feel about that?
I'm fine with it. I agree with you that it seems to indicate that nobody thinks this is going to be much of a match, right? If it was,
come on,
Alabama doesn't play the Big Ten that often, so right. If it were like if it were Alabama, Michigan, If it were
Right.
Alabama, the Ohio State, that would be a primetime game.
Right, or at least mid-afternoon.
Right, at least give me a 2 o'clocker, right? But as far as, fans at Camp Randall, they're good with 11.
Oh, sure. No, we've been there.
Bloody Marys to start. 7:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape.
It's going to be Donald Trump's convention, right? I mean, he's the nominee, so he will probably, and his team, have a lot to say on what the messaging will be.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com or text RNC to the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620 and get a link sent directly to you. It's the countdown to the RNC podcast, only here on WTMJ.
Eric Bilstead here for
QC Kinetics. That's because whenever it's nice out, like it's been most days now, you want to get outside and you're looking to do the hiking, you're looking to get the lawn mowed, you're looking to do the things that you do when it's warm out and you're exercising and whatnot, but you're dealing with all the achy joint pain. And here's the thing you don't want. You don't want surgery. You're not interested in surgery or steroids or harmful medication. So what do? Well, you can call QC Kinetics like so many other people have done and have had success doing so. QC Kinetics. Don't worry about having to have surgery. Just get a free consultation from QC Kinetics. They're in Greenfield and they're in Mequon. Super simple. You give them a call, you set that up, and you figure out whether or not if QC Kinetics can work for you as they retrain your body to heal itself. QC Kinetics, no downtime. Call today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474, QC Kinetics.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Race fans, start your engines. It's time to make summer plans for fast family fun at Elkhart Lakes Road America. Experience 11 major races from vintage weekends to IndyCar. And new for 2024, Grid Life. Bring the entire family for affordable fun with on-site camping, free parking, and free admission for kids 16 and younger with the paying adult at the gate. See the full race schedule at roadamerica.com. Road America, America's National Park of Speed.
Checking in with Debbie at 7:22. Then we'll talk live with Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky.
All right, we've got an accident, not an accident, broken down vehicle in the Mitchell interchange. Going to be adding to your delays through that area. It's technically on the ramp from northbound 94 to 894 westbound, which, by the way, is already backed up anyway because of construction. Westbound 94 slow out of the Marquette interchange past another broken down vehicle at the stadium all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's backed up from 92nd Street to about 35th. We've also got some backups along southbound 43 from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Keefe. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Chance of a morning shower still today, then mostly cloudy and breezy. High of 61 degrees, bit cooler near Lake Michigan, and clearing skies tonight with a low down to 46. Right now, 48 in Milwaukee. At 7:23, bringing in Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky. Morning, Nis.
Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Hey, we popped. The forecast was dead on for yesterday. It was, showers in the afternoon with a chance of an isolated storm, and that severe thunderstorm that we popped in Milwaukee County was really isolated. Like it was by itself there on a little island. But some hail with that one?
Yeah, you're right. It was tiny. I mean, it worked its way through Brookfield, and then the northern half of Milwaukee County had some hail up to around penny size, but yeah, it really was right on the edge, borderline severe stuff, very, very small. And then later on in the afternoon, early evening, some storms lifted in from the south that clipped Kenosha, but basically weakened well below severe strength as it moved in.
Hey, Niz, what's the deal with these Canadian wildfires? Is this going to be the summer of wildfires again for us?
Come on, Canada, take care of it, would you?
Yeah, I agree. I think we all are still like a little bit scarred from last year. I would say what we're seeing now is pretty typical. It's their wildfire season. It's, when they go through what we went through about a month ago, like when you have the dead winter brush, they're starting to get their first warmer days, and they have massive forests up there, obviously. It's Canada. They have huge forests that are dry this time of year, and this is their wildfire season. What they're seeing right now is pretty typical. Last year was an anomaly. If all of a sudden we see last year again, then I think we have a big problem on our hands that, obviously needs to be addressed. So what we're seeing now, I think we're just noticing it more because we went through last year, which was the summer of Canadian wildfire smoke.
Talking with Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Well, I really enjoyed following your social media through the weekend because you put the call out for folks for their Aurora Borealis pictures. You got some spectacular pictures from viewers.
Oh, it was gnarly. Yeah, it was super cool. There's a lot of times I'm a little pessimistic sometimes when it comes to Northern Lights because we go through this so many times. Like, hey, there's a chance of Northern Lights, and it's kind of like, unless you're like. Yeah, it's like, and it's super hard to predict. It really, really is hard to predict. There are, they have different levels. The biggest indicator is a thing called KP index, and that's actually a measurement of basically you're able to measure the amount of geomagnetic activity. You're measuring the amount of electrons and protons that are infiltrating our atmosphere. And that ended up being almost through the roof. We got up to a 9, and the scale is 0 to 9. So that's when you started to go, okay, it's really going down. So then I started, because it's like a pet peeve of mine. Oh, you might see Aurora tonight, and it's just this was one where I felt really, really good about, and it showed out for sure. I'm out here in Grafton, but I'm still very suburban, a lot of street lights and stuff, and we were able to see them really nice, and it was quite a show.
Hey, how come they showed up better on folks' cameras? And I'm not talking about like really high octane lenses, like just
phone cameras.
Yeah, how come it looked better on the phone cam than it did to the naked eye for a lot of these?
Because our phones are getting so smart now. I mean, our phones without you even doing anything. You hold your phone up, and it automatically opens its lens up. Like it does to an extent. And then you might have a setting that you take a picture, and all of a sudden allowing to do it. So, that's the best extent of it. I'm not a huge photography guy or an Apple guy, but yeah, that's what the phone is doing. It's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. I mean, it gives people, even the city lights, quite a show.
That's science for you. Thanks, Niz. Talk again next week.
See you, buddy.
You bet, guys. We'll see you later.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 81 points to 39,432. The NASDAQ was up 47 to 16,388. And the S&P 500 closed Monday at 5221. That was off a little less than 2 points. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My home is my happy place. It's happier thanks to CertaPro Painters. They painted the exterior of our house. It was quick. It was easy. You can schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's CertaPro with a C. Estimates are easy. Estimates are accurate. They clean up. CertaPro Painters are the real deal. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
So if you're already in a relationship with an auto service center, that's great. We hope things keep firing on all cylinders.
But if you're not in a relationship, why not book your next date with us at Richlands the next time you're due for service?
All of our locations are AAA approved and staffed by ASC certified technicians with PhDs in
We can fix anything!
Put that on top of the friendliest, hardest working staff you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center,
and you've got yourself a rock-solid date.
The next time you're due for factory scheduled maintenance,
or tires, brakes, and suspension service,
book your date at richlawns.com.
Or just Google us. But remember, Richlands is spelled with 2 N's.
And oh yeah, be safe, buckle up, and hey,
always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Courtney Matchke with Richlands, and you're due for a date.
Clever.
Richlands Tire and Service.
David Nason, host of the Fix It Show, here with my friend Chris Mancuso, owner of Accurate Basement Repair. Chris, what are some signs of basement problems that need to be addressed?
Hey, David, that's a great question. I would say wall cracks, leaning walls, dark or maybe some discolored stains across the walls. Those are really important things to look at.
As a home inspector, I see this often. Don't wait to call the experts I recommend at Accurate Basement Repair today for your free assessment. They're not just good, they're accurate.
We got backups eastbound 94 coming out of the Zoo interchange all the way past the Capitol, all the way past the Stadium interchange. Westbound is backed up out of the Marquette all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
On our way to a high of 61 degrees, 54 at the lake under mostly cloudy skies with a chance of a shower this morning.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Michael Cohen will continue testimony today in former President Trump's criminal hush money trial. That trial in New York has also become a way for Republicans to show their support for the presumptive nominee. House Speaker Mike Johnson will attend the trial today. ABC's Rachel Scott says vice presidential hopefuls have also turned up.
Yesterday, we saw Senator J.D. Vance, who used to be a critic of Donald Trump. Well, now he's one of his staunchest supporters and defenders. Today, we're going to see former rivals Vivek Ramaswamy and also North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. They will be outside the courthouse, and later today there'll be a fundraiser with other VP hopefuls, Senators Tim Scott and Marco Rubio.
President Biden will announce steeper tariffs on Chinese tech products today. Electric vehicle tariffs will quadruple. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's in Ukraine, meeting with President Zelensky and pledging continued U.S. support. And 2 people were killed in severe weather in Louisiana. There have been tornadoes reported for 19 consecutive days. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Ascension hospitals in Wisconsin and across the country still dealing with a cyber attack that's limiting access to digital patient information. Due to the transition to manual systems for patient documents and certain care at centers, patients may encounter longer than usual wait times, some cancellations as well. Now, to help with the delays, Ascension is encouraging patients to bring notes on symptoms and a list of current medications, including prescription numbers or bottles.
Smoke from Canadian wildfires is once again causing air quality issues in portions of Wisconsin and the upper Midwest. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Uznansky tells Wisconsin's Morning News while it's too early to predict if the wildfire smoke will be as prevalent as last summer, it is a pattern that meteorologists are watching closely.
What they're seeing right now is pretty typical. Last year was an anomaly. If all of a sudden we see last year again, then I think we have a big problem on our hands that, obviously needs to be addressed.
We'll get you your forecast coming up at 7:40.
Decision Wisconsin. It's a new job for former Wisconsin Congressman Mike Gallagher, former 8th District Representative, now a senior strategic advisor for Titletown Tech. Gallagher, you may recall, resigned his seat abruptly April 19th. It's a move criticized by fellow Republicans because he leaves the seat vacant in the district without representation until the next election.
The owners of a bakery in Menominee Falls say threatening messages are forcing them to cancel a drag story hour that was supposed to take place in June at their establishment. Co-owner of Batter and Mac, Brittany Wolfeld, tells TMJ4 News.
For Courage MKE. Bakeries for everybody. Our bakery is for everybody. And we try to welcome everybody. And even if you disagree with us, you're still welcome here.
The event was to raise funds for the LGBTQ advocacy organization Courage MKE.
Grant from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee will allow South Milwaukee High School students to study the levels of microplastics in the area water supply. Technology teacher Benjamin Quartermont is one of the 2 teachers spearheading the class. He tells TMJ4 News.
I think it's very important that students can see the connection to their own lives and understand that their actions have consequences and they need to care about the space they're living in.
The grant encourages, quote, citizen science and will be used to fund buying equipment for students to record data.
Coming up, first it was Apple apologizing for an ad it posted. Now a dating app is apologizing for its ad.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Heard at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
And no drafts. It's a game changer.
Hi, I'm Gina Della from Pella. And if you order today, you get 0% interest for up to 48 months. When it comes to replacing or upgrading your windows and doors, you want to be confident about your decisions. With Pella Design Works, you can see what your home could look like before you buy. Black frame windows or white, vinyl, wood, or fiberglass. Bring your vision to life and rest assured it's the perfect style for your home. Right now, get 0% interest-free financing for up to 48 months when you order by May 31st. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. That's 5/31/2024.
Wait now or wait a little longer. You may have just increased your lifetime income by tens of thousands of dollars. That's how Social Security can work for you. The longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help make the right decision for your situation. You spent decades paying in. Optimize what comes out. Drake & Associates can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. Claim your free retirement-ready toolkit that has guides on Social Security. To get our complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
What do we got for Murph today?
Oh, lots of questions.
Yeah, Brewers manager Pat Murphy is our guest on Brewers 360
Is
at
he
7:45.
concerned about Rhys Hoskins? Are there more ways we can get Contreras to hit even more?
Jeez, impossible, right?
What's the deal
Yelly's
with,
coming back,
what's
playing
the deal
really
with
well.
The Orange Lifesavers.
Right, I forgot about that. All right, it's all coming up with the Brewers manager in Brewers 360 at 7:45.
A dating app is apologizing for knocking celibacy. Bumble says its ads, including one that reads, "Thou shalt not give up on dating and become a nun," were an attempt to lean into a community frustrated by modern dating. In an Instagram post, the company says its goal was to bring joy and humor, but it unintentionally did the opposite, critics accusing Bumble of pressuring people into having sex. So they're removing the ads.
Celibacy is only one component of being a nun. Nuns also don't date, to their point, so
Sure,
it didn't
yeah.
have to be about sex or not sex.
Right.
But they're very sorry, I guess.
Yeah, they're making a donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, as well as to other groups that support women, as a way of saying we're sorry for this ad that we were trying to be funny about.
Gee, I was going to save myself for marriage, but then I saw on Bumble that I should probably just go ahead and have sex with whoever I'm dating, so then I did. Right? I mean, like... a stupid ad anyway. I'm not defending the ad. Just like, what are we so sorry about?
This one, this is the one you expect the calls for an apology for, right? This one makes more sense to me than the Apple one.
Apple one?
Like, why Apple apologized for an ad?
Because we crushed a trumpet?
Yes. Like, what?
The outrage.
Like, who are you even apologizing to if you're Apple? But in this case, I guess it makes more sense.
I'm offended by everything.
Yep.
And I hope you're sorry. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10, right here on WTMJ.
Good news, bad news. The good news, inflation today is nothing like it's been in the past few years. The bad news, lower inflation doesn't mean lower prices. Inflation only records the size of price increases. When it goes down, prices are still higher than they were before. In fact, a recent study showed investors still consider inflation their single biggest threat to their investment and retirement plans. We don't blame you if you're concerned about how inflation might affect your legacy, your financial freedom, or your confidence. It's time to meet with the team at Annex Wealth Management for investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. We'll review what you own. We'll work together to build a plan that's right for you and your family. And we'll guide you on your way to achieving the kind of retirement you desire. Whatever's kickstarting your questions, market volatility, global unrest, an upcoming presidential election, or stubborn inflation, it's time to know the difference. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Vince Vitrano for 2-day painting. Had all kinds of people over the house for Mother's Day. Man, I spent all this time in the yard trying to get the lawn all nice and tip-top. All they wanted to do was talk about the beautiful painting, how nice everything looks. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I wanted a little bit more credit for my hard work. Because did something I've never done before. I paid somebody else to paint the interior of my house. And obviously, you can tell. There was a full crew there. We had 5-6 guys at the house at one point. Had some repairs to ceiling damage. They knocked out a little wall. It was like a half wall that separated the family room from the kitchen. Did beautiful work. Everybody noticed. Just raving about how nice the first floor of our home looks right now. Big job. They painted the entire first floor, even into the upstairs. No spills, no mess, just perfect results. From booking the work to color consultation, I had a personal project manager. John kept me up to date every day that they were working in the home. 2-day painting, the right choice for us. I will never do my own painting again. 2-day painting. That's 2daypainting.com.
Waiting can be difficult, especially when it seems like you've been left to fend for yourself. Jesus' disciples might have felt that way after he ascended, but Jesus promised not to leave them as orphans. Hear how that promise applies to you in a message by guest speaker Dr. Jason Broggie. Waiting, but not alone. This week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Debbie, what do you see on the roads?
Well, we got some delays out there as per usual. Nothing major, though. No major incidents. We've got westbound 94 slowing down out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's going to be a little tight out of the Zoo Interchange all the way through to 35th Street. We've got northbound 4394 slowing down around the Plainfield Curve, pretty much all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. Northbound 43 slowing from before Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Southbound side pretty heavy from Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Cloudier skies and breezy winds for today across southeastern Wisconsin. Temperatures remain chilly. Highs lakeside in the 50s, lower 60s inland. There will be the small chance for an isolated rain shower or sprinkle this morning. Tonight, clearing skies, low temperatures falling into the 40s. We will look at temperatures rebounding a bit on Wednesday. Highs lakeside in the lower 60s, near 70 inland. Plenty of sunshine all day long. On Thursday, partly cloudy skies, high temperatures upper 60s to low 70s. We will look at some rain chances late in the day Thursday into Friday. Partly cloudy skies on Friday with high temperatures in the upper 60s to mid 70s. On Saturday, it gets even warmer with partly cloudy skies, high temperatures well into the 70s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 48 degrees. Brewers manager Pat Murphy coming up at 7:45 on Brewers 360.
It's a big day in Washington, D.C. It's going to be another big week today. Last night, hundreds of law enforcement officers forever remembered.
On the National Mall in Washington, D.C., a candlelight vigil for fallen officers has been held, and the names of 282 who died in the line of duty are now engraved on the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas telling those in attendance,
to a law enforcement officer, there is no such thing as a routine, risk-free dispatch.
Secretary Mayorkas says the agents and officers represent the very best of America. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
National Police Week still going on in the nation's capital.
We have families of 4 fallen officers from Wisconsin. I believe they were all headed to D.C. We know Peter Jerving's family from here in Milwaukee is in D.C. for this important week.
They did the big Harley. Right? They were going to truck out some Harleys for him, too?
House of Harley-Davidson on the south side takes care of doing that. Mm-hmm. So law enforcement agencies that want to participate in the rides can load up their police bikes, right? And they take them out there for them, and they do fundraising for that and take care of everything so that they can be out there and be a part of that. So
it's got to be pretty
all
neat,
happening this week.
Pretty neat therapeutic moment for a lot of officers to be amongst their brothers and sisters all in one place, being able to grieve and laugh together.
Brewers 360 coming up next here on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Eric Bilstad
and Vince Vitrano.
It's going to be an 11 a.m. kickoff on Fox for the Wisconsin Badgers and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Home and home series, Badgers will travel to Tuscaloosa in 2025. We now know that the September 14th game at Camp Randall Stadium this season is going to be an 11 a.m. kick.
Brewers and Pirates last night. It just wasn't the game that you needed from the Crew. They sputtered a bit on the offense. They struggled a little bit in the bullpen. They did have this.
The 3-2 delivery. High drive. Deep right field. Back goes Reynolds. Grand slam. The Brewers are within a run. It's 7-6 Pittsburgh. Jake Bowers delivers in the 8th inning.
So they were down 7-6. You got all excited about that, but it wasn't meant to be because Brian Reynolds lives on the Pirates and he feasts on the Brewers. Guy had 5 hits last night.
McCutcheon had another hit last night too, didn't he? I didn't check his line, but I know that guy, friend or foe, Kutch.
The Brewers fall to the
nice
Pirates.
Here?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Of course. They lose 8-6. Same teams tonight. We should mention that Rhys Hoskins did leave the game in the second inning because he felt a pull on his hamstring. We wanted to ask Pat Murphy about it, our Brewers manager, who usually joins us at this time for Brewers 360. I have a hard time connecting with him, but we do know that Hoskins, a couple of things with it. He's having an MRI on the hamstring today.
Felt a little pull, grab, he said.
And the good news is that it's the other leg from where he had his ACL surgery last year. So the fact that it's on the other leg gives him some encouragement other than some concern. So same teams tonight. You can hear it right here on WTMJ Radio.
Packers right now have 3 kickers. You know that?
Oh.
We're not going to keep 3 kickers, but we have 3 right now.
Hey, competition. Why not?
Couple of guys, yeah, exactly, brought in this spring to challenge last season's guy, Anders Carlson, who's got a cannon for a leg but just struggled with his accuracy through the season. So you got to think psychologically there's just some reason that he's not hitting the ball like he wants. Packers special teams coach Rich Bisaccia taking this question from our guy ESPN's Rob Domofsky.
Do you think that you guys, that Goody will take all 3 of those guys into training camp?
I don't know the answer to that. Might be those 3, might be 3 other ones. I don't know. Might be 6. So, but we're appreciative of certainly Brian getting it to the point that it's at right now with having a 3-man competition, and we'll see how long we can keep that going.
Okay, well, it's not going to be 6. But, in other words, Anders last season, not good enough, man. But you can't keep 3 kickers for very long. So it is an important question. How long will this competition last before at least somebody gets whacked? Remains to be seen.
I like it, though. Why not?
Right,
you
for
want
sure.
a good competition on this.
And like I said, Carlson's got a cannon for a leg. He's got every bit of the leg strength that we want. So just need dude to straighten it out. Maybe he does.
Think about some of those phenomenal Packers years and how close some of those games were because you had Crosby putting it between the uprights.
But guys go through stuff. Crosby struggled, remember?
Right.
You were ready?
He did, but
he had
the
like
majority
a half
of his tenure
for
was
sure
pretty good.
But he had that half season where it was like, get rid of this guy. You can't hit him. And they wrote it out. And then, we benefited from that. He won games for us. But guys go through stuff that it's like golf. Like that one is super, super mental, super psychological. So nonetheless, competition underway in Green Bay for that position.
So no Pat Murphy. We'll have to get Murph on special time.
Having trouble connecting with Murph, so we'll do it again another time here on Brewers 360.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business. For 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Rose Gray from Fox World Travel here to bring you exciting news.
In partnership with Globus, Insight Vacations, and Avalon Waterways, our 2025 Fox Group Vacations collection is now available. Whether you want to explore Europe, Hawaii, Asia, or beyond, by land or river, our award-winning Fox Group Vacation experts have handcrafted exclusive experiences for people seeking to explore the world. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Join us and make memories to last a lifetime.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. We're all living longer. That means in all of our families, people are facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and other memory-related issues. Azura specializes in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They're Wisconsin-based, 14 in our state, 4 in our area. I've been in their buildings. They're fantastic. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, empathy and compassion at the core. It's Azura.
Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Get your WTMJ forecast in a moment. Traffic first here with Debbie.
All right, southbound on 41. We are backing up from before Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 is going to be slow from Silver Spring down past Keefe, with the northbound side heavy from before the Marquette all the way through up to about Keefe. Westbound 94 heavy from 25th Street all the way to 35th. Actually make that Mitchell Boulevard. That's where it starts to let up. We've also got eastbound 94 backing up from the Zoo interchange to 27th Street. A little bit of a heavy ride on the Rock Freeway heading up from the county line up to the Hale interchange. Hey, be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. A breezy high of 61 degrees today, 54 at the lake, and a chance for a shower still this morning. Clearing skies tonight and a low down to 46. Sunshine on Wednesday. Wednesday's high 62 at the lake, 70 inland. Thursday, we partly cloudy skies with a chance of a shower and a high of 67 at the lake, 71 inland. Friday, a chance of showers under partly cloudy skies. 74 degrees your high temp, just a few degrees cooler near Lake Michigan. And partly cloudy on Saturday with a high of 78, 73 at the lake. Right now, 48 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
I'm in Vegas, baby. I am in Vegas.
Innovative.
I'm out here for, there's a Badger, it's called the Badger Desert Classic. It's a golf tournament. Question for you boys, if you're getting your head beat in, do you just take it or do you chase?
And Packers Hall of Famer.
And it's not been pretty so far for your boy.
Keep chasing them, man.
Talking
Keep
about
going.
the golfer.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Kohler Services.
Hey, Tausch, so what's your take on this Austin Rivers proclamation from earlier this month? So Austin Rivers is an NBA vet, proclaims that 30 NBA players could easily make the transition, I should say, and play in the NFL. 30 NBA athletes could easily walk on the grass and play for the NFL. What do you think?
So I heard this, and we talked about this a little bit. I think it was late last week when he did this, and then James Jones, great wide receiver for the Packers, just torched Austin Rivers. Here's the deal. I am not going to sit here and tell you, NBA athletes to me, NBA players, especially the wings, Giannis and LeBron, those cats are the best athletes in the world, in my opinion. Can they go out and play 17 weeks when they have Fred Warner, Quay coming at him and drilling him? No, they don't want that life. That's why they play hoops. And there have been some players. Antonio Gates is a Hall of Famer, so he was a basketball player. Gonzalez was a basketball player, So I'll say this. There are more NBA athletes that could come out and be a tight end or a wide receiver and make a few plays. But do they want to go through this life that NFL players have chosen? I don't think so. But I do agree with Austin Rivers in the fact that it is more likely an NBA player could go and become a wideout or a tight end for 10 snaps. For a career, I don't know. You have to make that big transition. I don't know of a ton of why. Devontae Adams is a great basketball player. Sam Decker, and I just say this, Sam Decker was a great basketball player, never played football, and he didn't make it in the NBA for a long period of time. So all these guys that are great wideouts and everything else that think they could play in the NBA, I think it would be easier to go the other way. And that pains me to say as an NFL player, but that's what I believe.
What's the best sport to play, Tausch? I think if I had to pick, I would be a baseball player because you travel all around in the summer. It's a long season, but you travel all around in the summer.
What a grind, though.
Yeah, but
what a grind.
Yeah, it never ends.
I think it sounds great, and you're sitting there and you're spitting seeds and you're putting bubble gum on guys' hats and having a great old time. But I'm guessing when it's July and you have a 6-game road trip to Miami and then Tampa, I can't imagine that as a player that would be. So for me, again, the physical part of football, and I'm feeling it now. Vinny, I need to go hit your boys up at Orthopedic Associates because my knee is jacked up.
Okay, Dr. Hollow's ready for you.
You feel it later on, but just strictly from a money-making and a time, I think the NFL is the best because now NBA guys, they got a great gig, and they load manage. Football, you don't load manage.
Right.
You do the opposite. And so I think NFL, if you take away all of the things that happen when you turn 45 and then get to be 50 and you can't walk as good as you'd like, NFL, I think, has the best thing going as far as being a team sport, not a ton of travel. You get 6 to 7 months off where you can spend all that time with your family. No other sport offers that.
As long as we're talking sport crossover, how about this? So the WNBA season kicks off tonight. Connecticut and Indiana play each other. So Caitlin Clark, they've sold out the place tonight. It's in Connecticut, this game, but she's playing. Could Caitlin Clark play in the NBA? Could she sit in the corner and jack threes in the NBA?
No. I don't know. I mean, she is a great – now, if she could do a three-point shootout and a skill, but you're telling me Drew Holiday is not going to just be able to shut Caitlin Clark down? Like, come on. I don't see that at all. But as far as, shooting contests and anything else, absolutely. She could go win a three-point shootout against Steph, and I don't remember who. There was a WNBA player that took Steph right down to the money, I think, in this year's All-Star game.
I want to say
Ayahuasca, the physicality.
Ionescu. That's what it is.
Yeah, she's from Oregon.
Yep.
The physicality of the NBA, I don't think Caitlin. I don't think that's a good match.
Thanks, Tausch. We'll talk again tomorrow.
See you, boys.
7:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
It's no surprise a beer company advertises heavily on sports games, but Molson Coors goes big with 80% of its TV budget on sportscasts now versus 50% 5 years ago. 2 years after leaving a top position with Foxconn in Wisconsin, Alan Young emerges as CEO at a Wauwatosa tech firm in Gantech. It attracts $2 million in private equity from local investors. Uline of Pleasant Prairie expands into Ohio, acquiring a warehouse for $114 million. The seller was Ashley Furniture, which is based in Arcadia, Wisconsin. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Race fans, start your engines. It's time to make summer plans for fast family fun at Elkhart Lakes Road America. Experience 11 major races from vintage weekends to IndyCar. And new for 2024, Grid Life. Bring the entire family for affordable fun with on-site camping, free parking, and free admission for kids 16 and younger with the paying adult at the gate. See the full race schedule at roadamerica.com. Road America, America's national park of speed.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure businesses and families throughout Wisconsin. With custom coverage and superior customer service, Ansay & Associates can provide all of your insurance needs. Visit ansay.com today and get a free consultation with one of our strategists. Or come see us in person at any of our local offices. Ansay & Associates, securing and protecting your American dream.
St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores seem to always have a great selection of women's summer clothing. Every year I check out their new selection and I can usually find great deals on a cute pair of shorts or capris or a pretty sundress. And they always seem to have a few tank tops I like too. Plus, buying gently used clothing is like recycling, so I help the environment. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
It's time for another NL Central Throwdown at American Family Field.
Fly ball hit to center. Backing up is Ciani. Still back. Ciani onto the track. Leaps up. It is gone!
The Brewers and Pirates face off with coverage starting tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 8 o'clock. I'm Vince Vetrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, May 14th, our top story. A deadline looms for people living at Milwaukee County Park and Rides.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Issues persist at Ascension, Wisconsin hospitals.
I'm Debbie Loziga. We've got, looks like a crash eastbound 94 right at Highway 164 off on the left shoulder, so it's backing things up back onto Highway 16, interestingly enough. Southbound on 43, backing up from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. Northbound, heavy out of the Marquette up past Keith. Westbound 94 slowing down right past the Stadium interchange to about Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side slowing from 92nd Street all the way to about 35th. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
As for your storm team forecast, chance of a shower still this morning, otherwise mostly cloudy and breezy with a high of 61 degrees, bit cooler near the lake, clearing skies tonight with a low of 46. Right now at 47 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, park and rides are not a place to live. That is the message from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Homeless encampments have spread to 3 park and rides, 2 off College Avenue and 1 off Holt. People are living out of their campers, vans, and tents like Tamika.
I shouldn't be here. Me personally, no, I should not be here.
There was a deadline for everyone to be out by Friday, but many are hearing
they said that was put on hold.
I heard it was put on hold.
Representatives with the DOT say any abandoned property is going to be thrown out by Friday, and each person must promise to have a timeline to leave. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
And DOT says it has helped 45 people find transitional housing so far.
Ascension Hospital continues navigating the fallout from a ransomware attack from last week. The latest update from the network indicates that all Ascension, Wisconsin hospitals, physician offices, and care sites remain open and operational, but Ascension retail pharmacies in the state are not currently able to fill prescriptions.
New information this morning on the man who was killed in a 3-car crash at the intersection of Appleton and Burleigh over the weekend.
The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office identifying him as 50-year-old Jason Stark. Stark's brother telling the ME that he worked for years delivering papers for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and was likely heading to work when he was killed. Stark's Mitsubishi Mirage was struck by a speeding Ford Flex while he was making a turn from Appleton onto Burleigh, causing it to hit a third car. 2 people injured in that car, but they are expected to survive. The 24-year-old woman driving the Ford has been arrested. Charges are pending. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Former President Donald Trump's New York court case will see a second day of testimony from Michael Cohen, the former fixer turned foe of the former presidents. The alleged scheme to protect his political fortunes and obscure his role in covering up the stories about sex has been the topic. ABC's Aaron Katursky.
Prosecutors are out to show the reimbursements Cohen said Trump authorized were improperly and falsely characterized as legal expenses. Cohen's recollections of the things Trump said are powerful evidence. He's the only witness that can deliver it. And while there are call logs to back him up, for the most part, the jury is left to take Cohen at his word, and the defense is waiting to test his composure composure and credibility.
Cohen will finish his testimony before the defense tests that composure and that cross-examination.
The Biden administration rolling out heavy taxes on many products entering the U.S. from China. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
Tariffs on electric vehicles from China will soar to 100%. The tariff on imported steel will jump to 25%. The White House says the move's designed to address unfair trade practices by China, including the theft of intellectual property. Officials note China's moves have adversely affected industries based in the battleground states of Michigan and Pennsylvania.
White House officials say the tariffs will help thwart China's efforts to dominate the market for emerging technologies.
Former Wisconsin Congressman Mike Gallagher has a new job.
I can assure you I'm not going to work for a think tank in D.C.
That was Gallagher on Wisconsin's Afternoon News in March. Now the former 8th District representative has accepted a position as senior strategic advisor for Titletown Tech in Green Bay. Gallagher's resignation in April was criticized by Republicans, including fellow Wisconsin Congressman Glenn Grothman, for leaving the district without representation.
We won't be able to fill the slot till next January 3rd, so that part of the state is not going to have a congressman during that time, and nobody will be able to vote.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:05.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
The Volrath Company implemented a DocuWare content management solution from James Imaging Systems. Volrath Director of Information Systems, John Sharp.
They've helped us upgrade from a previous version of our document management to automate our accounts payable processes, to store the invoices, to the three-way match, and really streamline those processes.
In addition to a DocuWare content management solution, the key to continued success is the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
And as an extension of our team, they've got intimate knowledge of why we've done some of the things that we do. And when we run into any issues, they're there to support us.
A DocuWare content management solution from the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
They know exactly where we are in our project cycle so that we've always got continuous improvement.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Siding Unlimited named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Smoke from Canadian wildfires once again causing air quality concerns in parts of Wisconsin and the upper Midwest. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky with us earlier today on Wisconsin's Morning News, saying it's too early to predict if this smoke will be as prevalent as last summer. It's a pattern meteorologists are watching closely.
What they're seeing right now is pretty typical. Last year was an anomaly. If all of a sudden we see last year again, then I think we have a big problem on our hands that, obviously needs to be addressed.
The MMAC and United Healthcare are committing $600,000 via scholarships to students whose career path includes a profession in healthcare.
It's really an investment in our future.
MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy on the 6-year commitment that will support 30 students from public, charter, and choice schools.
Companies are having such a difficult time filling job openings, and no place is that pressure greater than in a healthcare environment.
The scholarship program will be run by All In Milwaukee.
So hopefully they'll matriculate into hospitals and other places here to provide healthcare in the future. So it's a little bit of paying it forward.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
What's in a name? A whole lot when the candidates running for office share the same name.
The office is governor of Washington State. The problem, 3 candidates named Bob Ferguson. The most well-known Bob Ferguson is the state's attorney general and Democratic frontrunner.
I look forward to listening and learning from Washingtonians in every county and corner of this great state.
The Seattle Times reports a conservative activist pushed the other Fergusons into the race, allegedly to confuse voters. That violates a state statute. The most famous Bob Ferguson filed a cease and desist complaint. The other 2 have dropped out, one saying he was being harassed, the other saying his dream was destroyed. Peter King, CBS News.
My dream was destroyed. What was that exactly? So they're saying the other 2 weren't serious candidates for the office, right. That they were simply put in there to disrupt.
Yeah, to cause chaos.
Okay. 3 Bob Fergusons.
I know a Bob Ferguson.
Do you really?
Robert Ferguson played for the Packers?
I don't know.
Right? That's
Ferguson? You're making that up. Are you making that up? See, I never know with you. I think you're making that up. 8:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report is sponsored by Truestone Financial, your neighborhood credit union. Visit truestone.org today.
Whether you're an accomplished DIYer or a proud do-it-for-meer, give your home an upgrade with a home equity loan from Truestone Financial. With rates as low as 5.99% APR and for a limited time, no closing costs. Your Truestone home equity loan is do-anything financing that makes your home more just the way you wanted her. It's your house. Go nuts. It's true, because we're Truestone. Improve your pad at truestone.org. Terms and conditions apply. Closing cost offer not valid with competing offers or promotions. Equal housing opportunity.
What, tight end?
I think he was just a receiver.
What era?
Robert Ferguson is 44 years old. He was drafted by the Packers in the second round in 2001.
Okay, fine. Well, he's not running for governor anyway. And if he did, he'd be in a lot of trouble.
Right.
Spring cleaning long honey-do list. Haven't done a thing yet, have you? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Time to get organized. Summer is creeping up on us. You know, once you hit summer, you get super busy. So it's time now to get in on this special deal. Katie and Dan just saw them at Inspired Closets. They were just here in the studio chatting with us, offering 10% off the cost of your project or 18 months free financing if you book the work now. How about a custom-designed mudroom or an entry space? Think about this, a hook, a cubby for all your kids' stuff and for yours for that matter, or maybe designing a special space for your workout gear, or pet owners, a washing station for muddy paws, pull-out baskets for all those treats and toys. Everything is organized and orderly. Let's get this rolling here before summer. And while this fantastic 10% off or 18 months free financing deal is on, Katie and Dan are booking in-home visits now. Tell them Vinny sent you. Inspired Days start at Inspired Closets, inspiredclosetsmilwaukee.com.
Spring fishing is finally here, and Fleet Farm has everything you need to reel in more fish this year. Upgrade your gear with the best brands like Rapala, Berkeley, and St. Croix. Find exclusive flicker sheds you won't find anywhere else, starting at $12.99. Get rod and reel combos starting at only $24.99. And shop our wide selection of fishing line that starts at just $4.99. Land top fishing gear and everything else you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
I'm living the life that I lived before I started having knee pain 10 years ago.
Meet Julie, a woman who makes the most of every moment in life. But over the last years, those moments were filled with agonizing pain until she discovered QC Kinetics.
Finally, the pain got so bad that people around me are like, oh, when are you getting your knee replaced? I was walking, hobbling. I listened to my last QC Kinetics commercial and I said, I'm done. I got to find out about this.
What Julie found out was that QC Kinetics treats pain associated with osteoarthritis with regenerative therapy. Taking your body's own healing properties and concentrating them in the areas where you feel pain, helping heal and restore those damaged areas. No harmful steroids, surgery, or downtime.
It changed how I'm living. I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
Get back your life before the pain. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
8:12, checking in with Debbie here on the roads.
All right. Well, we're still dealing with an accident on 94 eastbound at Highway 164. It's off on the left shoulder, so something to keep in mind through there. Eastbound also slowing down from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange to about 35th. Westbound's going to be heavy out of the Marquette heading out through the Stadium interchange as well. Got an incident on the ramp from 175 southbound to 94 westbound. Looks like it might be a violator that they're taking care of there. Southbound on 43 backing up from Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Northbound's heavy from Kilbourne Avenue all the way up to Keefe. And then northbound 4394 slow right around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
I got a high of 61 degrees in your storm team forecast for today. 54 your lakeside high with a chance of a morning shower. Clearing skies tonight and a low of 46. Right now in Milwaukee, 46 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Eric Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
8:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News. You don't have to answer, and you in specific, I don't want to answer.
Okay.
You know at least one idiot in your office? And you're prohibited from answering because you might be looking at him.
Hey, now come on.
It's all it takes to bring a company to its knees. Doesn't even have to be an idiot. That's not fair. It can be someone who just in one singular moment is a bit careless, and it can be anyone in the company. I'll tell you what we mean about that a little bit more in greater detail in a moment. But we're talking about this crisis at Ascension Healthcare. It's nearing 1 full week now, the result of a cyber attack on the health system that has 140 hospitals across the country, many hospitals and clinics right here in southeast Wisconsin.
This person says this. The other person says this. I'm confused. I'm afraid to eat.
Without a car and her certain type of health insurance, she tells me it's not as simple as going to another doctor's office or the emergency room.
I was told we'll go to Aurora or Freighter, but my insurance doesn't cover that. How would I pay the bills?
So that's a woman speaking with TMJ4 News. She's an Ascension patient. She's dealing with this ongoing medical issue, and she cannot get the care she needs. And hers is one story in presumably thousands of individual stories out there about how this is affecting real people. Another story for you. First of all, I shared the story of someone I know, and I'm going to speak in real general terms because I don't want to out anybody's personal medical information.
Right.
So I was telling you this story about a guy I know, his father, 91 years old. He's at a hospital. He had a surgery that was not considered like a major surgery, like a heart or a lung thing, but surgery. To be in the hospital and 91 years old. And he was describing to me all of the challenges they're having as there's docs and nurses are trying to get lab results on paper without procedures to even go through that anymore. Another story, someone that I know close to me had gone to see just her regular doctor for an annual exam, right? As you go for a physical or whatever. Sure. And this person struggles with migraine headaches and was recently in the ER being treated for a migraine. So battles with that from time to time. And so her doc obviously is very concerned about that. And she's like, I wish, this appointment, she just had it yesterday. I wish that I could see in your records how they treated you, because I'd be very interested to know what were the medications, what were the doses. But I can't see that because I don't have your records readily available unless you had brought them or you knew. I don't know. Where would you even have that, right?
So is that in the invoice when you leave the ER?
Right, and here's what we gave you. I suppose it's probably somewhere.
It should be, and I'm sure you can get it, but yes, point made.
So to that point, for every person who is in the care of an Ascension doc or nurse at a clinic or at the hospital, there's an individual story about how this may be affecting those people. So Ascension is the victim of a ransomware attack. They've admitted that. Hackers got into their computer systems and paralyzed their daily operations.
The main idea is an attacker will somehow compromise a company or just an individual's computer systems, either by preventing them from using the systems at all or encrypting files so they can't use them, can't read them until some ransom is paid.
Sound familiar there, that voice?
Is that Bohr?
Yeah.
Is that our IT guy?
Sounds like the guy who'd come down on you if you did something stupid, right?
He'd be nice about it, though.
He would be. Ryan Bohr, he's one of our IT guys here at Good Karma Brands, describing how these attacks work. So had an interesting conversation with him. I'm like, tell me more about how this works, how these things are resolved. So essentially there's some group, and CNN is reporting sourced information that it's a Russian hacker ring that's done this before. They get into a computer system of a company. They infect it with malicious code that renders basically whatever system they target unusable. And basically these hackers say, pay us however many millions of dollars or whatever their price is, and then we'll unlock everything, and then you can just go on your merry way.
Often it is really that simple. You know, the whole motive behind the attack is that the attackers get paid, and then, you know, they can revert all the damage that they've done. And that's the whole, you know, motivating factor.
So there are a lot of cases of this recently, some of them really high profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
And companies choose to deal with it in different ways. So we had the casino one. Was it MGM and Wynn, right? Two different casino operations.
Yeah, and one of them, I think, paid it off.
One of them paid.
And the other one tried to fight through it.
And got shut down.
Yeah.
And battled for quite some time through that situation. Was it United Healthcare that dealt with a hack earlier this year? Similar kind of situation. So this is happening, and it's the stuff that keeps IT folks and cyber experts and people who run companies awake at night.
Because they're not necessarily dealing with some cyber criminal who's so smart, Mission Impossible guy who can just break in and hijack a satellite and do this and that. It's usually something a lot easier to pull off.
And that's what's so crazy, right? To your point, it's not like you see in the movies of guys like, all right, because companies have firewalls, and if you've done your due diligence as a company, you've created all these barriers for someone to just be able to come in from the outside and start attacking. But what they do typically are these phishing things.
Getting employees to just click on links or download PDFs or malicious files that they think are legitimate and then end up containing malware.
So again, thanks to Ryan Bohr, our IT guy here. We get messages from Ryan. They're exercises that I guess they're from his department, not from him, but little things that try to trick you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's great. They're like fake test emails, and they'll tell you after you do the correct maneuver, they'll say, hey, nice job. That was a test. You passed.
Yes. So our systems have something where if an email looks suspicious, you click this icon called phishing. You say, this looks suspicious. And then if it's an email of some kind that maybe is suspicious, they look into it. You haven't done any damage. You've clicked it over there. Then they have procedures of how to look at it. Sometimes they're little plants. They're little tricks to try to trick you into doing it. If you do click on the attachment that looks like it was from your boss, hey, need you to sign off on this invoice right away. You're like, oh, all right. I'll click on that. And it's a trick. And they're like, but. Yep. And then you win 3 more online training episodes or whatever.
Right.
For IT safety. But there's a reason for that, because once these companies get in, all it takes is one person to make that mistake. Now they're in your system. We don't know specifically if it was phishing that got these hackers into the Ascension system, but it's a primary way that these groups get in.
They have confirmed that the hospital network was hit by ransomware, though.
Right. So they've named a price that apparently Ascension has not paid because they're continuing to deal with it in the manner that they are. Really only 2 ways, as I was talking to Ryan, to deal with this. You can pay them, or you can bring in your own cyber experts to sort of like reverse hack the hackers, right? And they do their own work and try to unlock your stuff. Problem is that takes time.
And costs money.
Right.
Productivity, revenue. You're paying the consultant to come in there and mess around. I mean, is that better? And then just paying off the ransom? In some cases, the companies have said, nope, here's the ransom money.
And if it's hard to look at it from just the 50,000-foot view, right? Where if it doesn't affect you is like, don't pay these guys, then they won't do it.
Right.
Okay, but if it's your company that's currently being held hostage, right?
And they're big and small, by the way. It's not always something of this magnitude. There's been small companies hit, too, here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, a few $1,000s will take care of this, or whatever their price is. They probably price it out to what they think you can afford, because ultimately they are trying to get paid. I'll point out, I've reached out to Ascension to get someone on our show to talk about all of these things, patient care, anything in the investigation. I mean, it was totally open-ended.
Right.
I've been referred to just the online statements that the company continues to make. The latest one they posted Monday reads in part, Ascension, with the support of leading cybersecurity experts, worked around the clock over the weekend to respond to the ransomware incident affecting our system. So I'm reading into that, that they're trying to do this on their own and unlock their stuff. We are focused on restoring our systems safely. We are making progress. However, it will take time to return to normal operations. But for the patients who are waiting on lab results or whose doctors cannot access their records or treat them effectively, the time it takes to return to quote-unquote normal operations cannot come quickly enough.
I'm tired. I'm not getting the right answers because nobody really knows.
Checking in with Debbie here at 8:23.
All right, we still got an accident eastbound 94 at Highway 164 off on the left shoulder. Things are backing up towards Highway 16. You're back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange too. Northbound 43 slowing down out of the Marquette up past Keefe, with the southbound side heavy from Silver Spring down to Keefe. And then southbound 41 on the brakes from Appleton Avenue on and off all the way past Hampton Avenue, almost to about Capitol Drive. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
There's a new team on the rise in the NL Central.
O'Neal Cruz, like he was built in a lab.
With the first pick, the Pittsburgh Pirates pick Paul Skeens, right-handed pitcher from LSU.
time to knock them down a size.
Hit to right center and deep. Get up! Gone for Reese Hoskins. The track. Wall. Gone! Willie Adames flips this game on its head.
Brewers Pirates. Coverage begins at 6:05 on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Just because you're going to see the surgeon doesn't mean you're going to have surgery. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Majority of patients they see over there, Spine Center, for example, they are treated for their conditions without surgical intervention. Heard that from Dr. Mike Nolte. He was here the other day talking about the level of care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. That's what I heard when I went in with knee pain years ago. Dr. Holub told me a number of different ways that we can address your issue. No pressure to have surgery at OAW. And I always point that out because I think a lot of folks put off medical care because they're afraid of what they're going to hear. I don't want to go in there and have somebody tell me I got to have surgery. You can trust these docs to properly diagnose what's going on. Lay out a menu of options to address it. You pick one. And if you decide to have that surgery like I did, now you know you're in the best of hands. It's Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. When it's time to get out and cultivate your ideal yard, we get you the right products at the right prices. Like 36-pound bags of Estate Weed and Feed, $34.99. $20 off 40-pound bags of Estate Sun to Shade Lawn Seed Mix, $109.99. Save $5 on Technor Apex Never Kink heavy-duty hoses. Plus, leave the heavy lifting to us with Blaine's Farm and Fleet's convenient drive-thru. Order online and we'll have it ready for you in just 1 hour.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi for Universal Windows Direct. Spring is here and is only going to get hotter from here on out. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Super spacer technology. What does that mean? Keeps the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer. Plus, Universal Windows Direct backs it up with a true 20-year warranty. Call today, 414-410-2000, 414-410-2000, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. Go to uwd.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The surgeons that I know are good people. They just want to do what they can to help you feel better. And the surgeries they perform can do wonders for their patients. But medicine's a business, and surgery is the big ticket item. And there are surgeries that are absolutely necessary. In almost all cases, a total knee replacement isn't one of them. It's a last resort. So before you opt for a total knee replacement, if you haven't been to Rejuvenex, you may find that we have treatments that can give you the relief you're looking for. They're FDA approved, and they can alleviate pain, in many cases significantly. And insurance could cover a big portion of, if not all of our treatment costs. The osteoarthritic pain you're feeling will only worsen, and that's why you should take action now. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
The NFL draft ship comes in today.
Ahoy!
I didn't think we'd have a chance to use that again. This is great.
Might be the last time ever.
Green Bay Packers president Mark Murphy going to be in Milwaukee today. He will take the NFL draft football handoff. You see what they're doing there?
Yeah.
From Michigan. There'll be a big to-do at the Lake Express dock in Bayview.
You always just hope that that's what the horn sounds like.
I'm pretty sure it's not. We lived in Bayview for many years. I don't recall hearing that from the Lake Express. So then they're going to bike the football up to Green Bay after it arrives. They're calling it Pedal to the Draft, and that's the hashtag that they'll use. So if you want to follow this sort of Olympic torch-style journey of the football up to Green Bay, look for that.
More of a ceremonial thing. We thought it'd be fun to, with the two states adjacent to each other, or near each other, to do it in this fashion.
Darren Popke, Director of Public Affairs for the Packers, he was on the program here and said, yeah, Detroit had the draft last. Let's, quote-unquote, hand it off to Green Bay and to Wisconsin and make a deal of it.
So once it finally gets to Green Bay, what do you do with this ball? Is Murphy just throwing it in his office somewhere?
I would like it to be prominently located.
Oh, in the
atrium
somewhere?
It should be in a case, right? And then they're going to light up this countdown clock
Okay, it'll be by the
Right,
clock
so,
then.
Well,
All right.
I'm wondering, unless the clock is like a big exterior clock at Lambeau so everybody can see it. There should also, I'm with you though, there
It'll
should be
be
something in the atrium
yeah.
with this draft football.
For sure.
But then I hope they keep this going. Like, I would like us to hand off the football to whoever's got it in 26 then. That's kind of a thing.
Sure.
I have no problem with it. Actually, more newsworthy is the fact that the NFL is still working to decide, we're less than a year out now, where they are going to build this stage and all the infrastructure that's needed to stage an event that is expected to draw 250,000 people over the course of 3 days.
It'll be a big sea of people, as you saw in Detroit. We envision that around Lambeau Field, but we'll use the Resch complex to the east of Lambeau itself, and then Titletown to the west.
So it sounds like it's not, like the draft where they invite fans in to watch is not going to be like in the bowl of Lambeau Field.
Mhm.
Lambeau will be the backdrop.
There had been some discussion about that, about actually using the stadium, but yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
So they would build the stage out, like if you know the area, like on Oneida Street or Lombardi Avenue.
Yeah.
And then it would have the stadium in the background there, and there'd be infrastructure around that. So they still haven't apparently decided exactly where that's going to be or how it'll be configured. The draft football, nonetheless, arrives via the Lake Express at 11:45 this morning. If you want to check it out, then they're going to bike it up to Green Bay. They ride it in and then start the countdown clock later tonight. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and folks who live here. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today, Jeff Salasinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we try to keep things simple around here. So I know you talk about how insurance today is very complex, how it's expensive. Let's talk with folks in simple terms, how to simplify and how to better manage the cost.
Thanks, Vince. I have two simple thoughts that will help everyone tremendously. Choice and competition. Let's tackle choice first. If you're working with an agent that can only give you a quote from one company, or you're trying to buy online, you're already at a distinct disadvantage. Why limit your options? Number two is competition, Vince. In order to get the best combination of price and coverages, you need to get multiple insurance companies competing for your business. When multiple insurance companies compete, the consumer or the business is the clear winner every time.
What else is important here?
Let me add one more thought as well. R&R Insurance is approaching our 50th year in business. We've successfully guided clients through difficult times like this before. We're not for sale, and we're always acutely focused on you, the client. R&R Insurance is that quality partner for thousands of businesses and families in Wisconsin.
Yeah, but Jeff, my buddy's cousin or somebody like that sells insurance, right? Why not go with somebody that I kind of know?
Yeah, Vince, I learned a long time ago, when you have a problem, when you have an insurance issue as a business owner, it's critically important to work with the advisor that knows the industry the best, not the advisor you know best. Does your buddies' cousins have access to the resources that we might have at R&R? I doubt it. It's important. It's how we differentiate in today's marketplace. No one has better insights or more capabilities than R&R.
Sometimes folks will pay more for superior service, but if you work with R&R Insurance, you won't have to. That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com. 8:32, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, May 14th, our top story. Patient care impacts continue at Ascension Wisconsin hospitals.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Is that smoke on the horizon?
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43, heavy from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Keefe. Northbound slowing down from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. Eastbound 94 riders watch for delays from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange, with the westbound side slow from 25th to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 54 degrees at the lake, 61 inland under mostly cloudy skies. Just a chance for a shower still this morning. Clearing skies tonight and a low down to 46. Right now at 46 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Ascension Hospital continue navigating the fallout from a ransomware attack that occurred middle of last week. Patient Annette Strini talking with TMJ4 News, saying she's been told by Ascension to utilize other healthcare systems.
I was told we'll go to Aurora or Freighter, but my insurance doesn't cover that. How would I pay the bills? I'm tired. I'm not getting the right answers because nobody really knows.
Latest update from the network indicates all Ascension Wisconsin hospitals, physician offices, and care sites remain open, but Ascension retail pharmacies in Wisconsin are not able to fill prescriptions.
Smoke from Canadian wildfires once again causing some air quality issues in northern Wisconsin and in the upper Midwest. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Wisniewski tells Wisconsin's Morning News while it's too early to predict if the wildfire smoke will be as prevalent as last summer, it is a pattern that meteorologists are watching closely.
What they're seeing right now is pretty typical. Last year was an anomaly. If all of a sudden we see last year again, then I think we have a big problem on our hands that, obviously needs to be addressed.
As for the forecast today, a potential shower to the south, otherwise cloudy and breezy, a high of 61.
Owners claim it was threatening and violent phone messages that forced a Menominee Falls bakery called Batter and Mac to cancel its planned drag story hour and cupcake decorating night. The organization's executive director, Brad Shilkowski, telling TMJ4 News,
the person in a costume and makeup. That's all it is. If it's bigger than that to you, it's because you made it that way.
Batter and Mac is still planning to hold its sold-out drag bingo night, which will raise funds for Courage MKE.
A grant from UW-Milwaukee will allow South Milwaukee High School students to study the levels of microplastics in the area's water supply. Technology teacher Benjamin Quartermont is one of the two teachers spearheading the class. He tells TMJ4 News,
I think it's very important that students can see the connection to their own lives and understand that their actions have consequences and they need to care about the space they're living in.
The grant encourages citizen science. It'll be used to fund buying equipment for students to record their data.
News about your money, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Opening bell on Wall Street, pushing the Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 13 points to 39,445. The S&P 500 at 5222. That is up less than a point so far. And the NASDAQ is up about 18 points to 16,406. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button now.
Coming up, is it the end of the line for this iconic seafood chain?
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. We're passionate about continuing on our mission to help more Wisconsin businesses create more success. If you have any questions about our insurance products or just want a second opinion about your insurance or employee benefits, I invite you to check out ANSI.com, or better yet, give us a call at Yancey & Associates. And let's have a conversation about your business and how we can help you secure, protect, and grow your version of the American dream.
The Vollrath Company implemented a DocuWare content management solution from James Imaging Systems. Vollrath Director of Information Systems, John Sharp.
They've helped us upgrade from a previous version of our document management to automate our accounts payable processes, to store the invoices, to the three-way match, and really streamline those processes.
In addition to a DocuWare content management solution, the key to continued success is the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
And as an extension of our team, they've got intimate knowledge of why we've done some of the things that we do. And when we run into any issues, they're there to support us.
A DocuWare content management solution from the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
They know exactly where we are in our project cycle so that we've always got continuous improvement.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
How often do you go to, where's the Red Lobster by you? You got
76th in Greenfield.
Okay.
That place is hopping.
Is it
no,
really?
76th in Layton. The one on the south side near Southridge.
It's hot.
Every time we drive by there, I'm like, woo, it's club tonight.
Well, the good news is that one is not closing.
Industry observers say Red Lobster has been considering a bankruptcy filing as a way to restructure its debt and downsize from its current 650 U.S. locations, with much of the blame going to this.
Red Lobster's endless shrimp is kind of a big deal.
Promotion meant to get more customers through the door worked, but also contributed to an $11 million loss in the third quarter of last year. Monday, at least 80 restaurants in 27 states were listed on the Red Lobster website as temporarily closed. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Among them temporarily closed, the one on Mayfair Road in Wauwatosa and another in La Crosse.
Yeah, one in Tosa's, near Mayfair.
Right by the mall, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Doesn't help.
This is tragic. Like, it was, their promotion was so good.
So good that it's bankrupting the company. I didn't realize there were that many left. If you would have tried to guess how many there were.
Like in the state or nationwide?
No, in the state.
I'd say 24.
Journal Sentinel says Red Lobster has 6 locations that still appear to be open. Appleton, Ashwaubenon, Eau Claire, Greenfield, Madison, and Mount Pleasant. I must admit, I can't tell you the last time I've been in a Red Lobster. It may not even be in this century. And I'm not anti-Red Lobster.
No.
I
like me some Red Lobster once in a while.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you're not going to confuse it for a fine seafood house, but like, right?
So what is it then?
If you want some, I want me some all I can eat shrimp. That's
where
like
you go?
not bar shrimp,
All right.
Then like there's something there. It always looks good on TV. You're like, ooh yeah, I gotta get in on that.
What about Long John Silver's?
No, that totally different category, right? That's the difference between like a Wendy's versus an Applebee's.
Okay.
Wendy's versus
fair comp.
So
you wouldn't do
Wendy's v. Chili's.
You would.
That's Long John Silver's v. Red Lobster.
All right. So
is that a comp?
Fast food seafood isn't your thing.
That one's a little bit harder. But Red Lobster, yeah.
Well, the good news.
Well, great. Now the one by me on the south side is going to be even more crowded. Never get in there.
Well, Tosa, that may reopen. As of now, temporarily closed.
We just need a break. Y'all ate us out of shrimp. Hey, Costanza, the ocean called. Right? You want me to finish it?
Yeah, right. Were you waiting for the punchline?
Hey, the ocean called. I just was going to leave it there. No. The ocean called. They're running out of shrimp. All right, go ahead, Deb.
Seinfeld. All righty, we've got some debris on northbound 94, just past the Ryan Road on-ramp. They may have to close off some lanes of traffic to try and get this cleared up. Now, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but just something to keep in mind. If it's slowing down, that's pretty much what it is. We've got eastbound 94 still heavy from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange, westbound side slow from 25th Street to about Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, riding the brakes from Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe, northbound from Fond du Lac up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here with spring here and the warmer temps in the air. This is a great time to be doing all the fun outdoor stuff, right? Like the hiking, the biking, maybe going to the lake. But if your joints are flaring up, you may be having second thoughts maybe about hitting those 18 holes. Well, if you're tired of the achy joints, here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. Do it before you agree to surgery or steroids or any other medication. It's what tens of thousands of patients are doing. Take Abby, for instance. Constant back pain. She had nonstop ice packs, steroids. It was exhausting for her, but thanks to QC Kinetics, Abby feels like a new person. No back pain thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics. I'd love to be talking about your story next, your lasting relief with no downtime. Call QC Kinetics. Consultation is free. Hear about it now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend Accunet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which Accunet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in 15 grand short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
More than one way to fill a pothole, and your paving company should offer all the right solutions. Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. They've got 3 different methods that they use alone just for pothole repair. This is the team you want on your property this spring. Your project manager will get out on site, look at what type of surface you have, consider how big are the holes, how big are the cracks, what's the best method to deliver long-term results, and what kind of budget are we working with. Maybe it's time to redo the whole thing. And if you book a parking lot paving project by the end of this month with Johnson & Sons Paving, you'll be entered to win the Vinny Visit. Johnson & Sons team will put me to work on your job site. I am prepared to give you everything I've got. They even sent me my own shovel, so we are all set for the work at your job site. Go to WTMJ.com/contests for entry details. Asphalt and concrete, plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors except for me. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Want to get us on record for this story. Wisconsin State Supreme Court expected to rule on whether ballot drop boxes, other than the one that maybe your local clerk's office would install on that property, whether or not these are legal in Wisconsin. Right now, they're not. And that ruling could change the landscape for absentee voting in our state, and it would be inside 6 months probably before the presidential election. Typically what? Our state Supreme Court, and it kind of coincides with the federal Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. Like they hear all these oral arguments now, and then they come out with their decisions later in spring or early summer. So June, does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's expected in June.
Oral arguments before the High Court on Monday. This is a lawsuit seeking to allow the use, once again, of boxes wherever a clerk's office decides to put them for folks to drop off absentee ballots ahead of an election. This has become a Democrat versus Republican, a left versus right issue. But really what's before the High Court is apolitical. There was a rally in Madison Monday for folks, many of them who support the use of drop boxes. Here's this woman speaking with TMJ4 News.
I've got an inflammatory arthritis, and I have something called Raynaud's disease, where if you're out in the cold, your hands, it's really painful. So I can't stand out in the cold anymore.
So the argument is these ballot drop boxes make it easier for folks who have absentee ballots mailed to them to simply conveniently drop them in this box, and then they know the box is secure, and then it goes back to the clerk's office, and it's the way that they turn in their ballots. And shouldn't we be doing all that we can to expand access to voting? I guess the counter to that argument is, don't we already have drop boxes? They're called mail boxes.
We do.
Put it in the mail.
And early in-person voting is a thing that many people take advantage of.
So all well and good. The problem is really the question before the High Court is not whether drop boxes are a good idea or a bad idea. The question is a matter of law, regardless of what you think of the goodness or badness.
The most important decision you can make right now is what do you stand for, Danny? Goodness or badness?
Like Caddyshack getting a lot of run this morning.
Yeah, it is. I did not expect that to be blended with any ballot drop box story this morning when I got up. So thank you for
goodness or badness. It's not about that. What you think about drop boxes, have them, don't have them. It's about who gets to decide. So let's back up here a little bit. The Wisconsin Elections Commission during COVID, so think 2020 elections, the spring election, then coming up in the fall, loosened rules on absentee voting. Among them, allowed for this expanded use of drop boxes. This was never a thing before. Mm-hmm. Like maybe your clerk's office had one, but the idea of putting boxes up all over a community for absentee balloting wasn't a thing till 2020. And the Wisconsin Elections Commission said, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. And they issued that guidance. Well, the state Supreme Court 2 years later, in a 4-3 decision, when the court leaned conservative, said you can't do that. The court did not rule that drop boxes are not fair or a bad idea. The court ruled that state law does not outline rules or uses for ballot drop boxes. Thus, they're not legal. If it's not in the law, then it's not legal to do. that if you want ballot drop boxes to be part of Wisconsin elections, then the state legislature can pass a law that would outline rules for their usage, and that cannot come from the Wisconsin Elections Commission. That was basically what the High Court ruled. I'm kind of agnostic on it as far as whether we should or should not have ballot drop boxes. I understand arguments for. I don't understand as much the rules against in terms of does it promote fraud or does it create unsafe conditions for balloting? I don't know that it does. I mean, again, if you can just drop it in a mailbox, how is this vastly different? But regardless of that, it's not really what's before the High Court. So I guess the pushback on conservatives would be, okay, fine. If the court does ultimately rule you can have these ballot drop boxes, then put 10,000 of them up in West Bend or other conservative strongholds.
Make it easier for everyone to vote, and then everything's solved then, right?
So what the argument is, if you think drop boxes are a good idea, then the legislature can pass the bill. Governor can sign it. You can have a state law that allows for it. Absent that, you don't have them.
I don't see why they're not going to rule on this until sometime in June, maybe. Why not be proactive? We already knew this was coming. We already know where both sides fall on this thing. They should already have their opinions written. Their snarky comments to each other already typed out, because there's going to be snarky comments from both sides of the political spectrum there in the state Supreme Court.
As my colleague speaking in the minority
yes,
said,
you know that's in there, because that's
yes.
what they do. They just claw at each other now. Why don't you just release it today? You could have been proactive, and we wouldn't sit around and wait.
I do think it's an interesting legal question, too. I'm not even sure where I come down on the legal question of just because it's not spelled out specifically in state law, does that mean it's illegal? I don't know the answer. Again, that's for lawyers to decide and for judges to decide. So I understand the arguments on both sides also. It's a fascinating legal argument. The thing that it's not about is goodness or badness, Danny.
The most important decision you can make right now is what do you stand for, Danny? Goodness or badness?
One more time before 9 o'clock here, Deb.
All right, well, we've still got some delays along southbound 43 coming in from before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keefe. Northbound slowing down around the North Avenue curve up to Keefe. Eastbound 94 backing up 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. Still got that delay on westbound 94 as you're making your way out of the 27th Street. Actually, westbound 894, leaving 27th Street all the way to 68 through that construction zone. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Vince Vitrell.
May 13th is the start of Law Enforcement Week. Join the truth as we share a special program, Too Black, Too Blue. Voices of black officers living in the double consciousness of two disjointed worlds. Stay tuned for more.
Sorry, Dr. Ken. My turn now. Talk about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. No longer a reason to wait for these big projects. You want to replace some windows, maybe the front door of your house, because if you order today, you can get 0% interest on your financing for up to 48 months. That is 4 years with no interest paid on your product. You only have until May 31st at Pella, so jump on it now. When it comes to replacing or upgrading your windows and doors, you want to feel confident that your choices are going to turn out how you envision them. Wouldn't it make more sense in your home to go with the black frame window, say, or maybe instead of the wood grain, we want white window frames? Well, whether your home is newer, classic, mid-century, modern, or something truly historic, Pella's design team gets in your house and they work with you so you can see virtually what your home will look like with the choices that you make before you buy. Vinyl, wood, fiberglass, Pella has it all. You get 0% interest on your financing for up to 48 months if you order by the end of this month, May 31st. Certain restrictions do apply. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, WTMJ's Sean Mercure here. It was time to paint the outside of our house, and I was overwhelmed. I really wasn't looking forward to it. Thank goodness I got in touch with CertaPro Painters, each business independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. They made it easy. They were quick. They were efficient. They were friendly and fun. It's CertaPro Painters. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. My home has never looked better, literally. I couldn't be happier. It's CertaPro Painters. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Chance of a morning shower, then mostly cloudy. High of 61 degrees, bit cooler near the lake. Right now we are at 47 in Milwaukee.
Fixer turned foe. Michael Cohen, former President Donald Trump's former lawyer, is back on the stand this morning. He's the star witness in the hush money case. The alleged scheme to protect Trump's political fortunes and obscure his role in covering up stories about sex. He alleged to have sex with Stormy Daniels, and Cohen was the one who paid Stormy Daniels off and then pushed the money to a different spot. So they tried to protect the president from that at the time.
Prosecutors are out to show the reimbursements Cohen said Trump authorized were improperly and falsely characterized as legal expenses. Cohen's recollections of the things Trump said are powerful evidence. He's the only witness that can deliver it. And while there are call logs to back him up, for the most part, the jury is left to take Cohen at his word, and the defense is waiting to test his composure and credibility.
Yeah, it's ABC's Aaron Katersky. Yeah, so the defense going to go after him today, says Jonathan Carl.
They're going to want to show not only that he has credibility problems, but that he has an agenda, that he is out to get Donald Trump. And guess what? He is out to get Donald Trump. Look for them to introduce as evidence some of the videos that Michael Cohen has made recently, even during this trial, where he taunts Donald Trump when he says things like, yeah, Trump 2024, 20 to 24 years in prison.
So there's been this gag order, right? So one of the interesting strategies from the Trump campaign has been to have others show up and speak out. Other Republicans sit in the courtroom. Today, House Speaker Mike Johnson is in the courtroom.
Just as an observer?
The House Speaker, yes, as an observer, will be there for the testimony today.
So the idea being that, all right, if former President Trump can't go out there and talk about, well, this guy was lying and this was, that Johnson could do that sort of as a surrogate.
Or Vivek Ramaswamy, who's also in court today. Doug Burgum, who's vying to be the VP candidate, is also in court today.
Who's not going to be the VP candidate.
Oh, prediction.
Burgum? Come on. Does he seem like a Trump guy?
I don't know. Well, he's in court today.
That's right.
So anyway, second day of testimony from the fixer turned foe underway right now.
News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
Inflation, market volatility, global unrest, a presidential election. There's a lot going on, which might lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. You're not alone if you're feeling stressed about your investment and retirement planning. How about this? Take control with help from Annex